This game between the Dallas Cowboys and Minnesota Vikings at AT&T Stadium is sponsored by the Gaylord Texan. Gaylord Texan, the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. Baylor Scott & White Health. We're changing healthcare for life. Dr. Pepper, always one of a kind. Ford. Visit your local North Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. AT&T, mobilizing your world. And by Papa John's, the official pizza of the Dallas Cowboys. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza.
After a full month in training camp in California, the Dallas Cowboys have come home to AT&T Stadium in Arlington. It's preseason game number 3, the home opener, the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Minnesota Vikings. It's dress rehearsal time. Tony Romo and most all the first-teamers get set for the regular season with their most extensive playing time of the preseason. The kickoff is straight ahead, but first, this from your local station.
Presentation of Dallas Cowboys football is also brought to you by Bank of America, official bank of the Dallas Cowboys, DraftKings, and by Ford. Visit your local North Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas.
It's time for some Saturday night football at beautiful AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. And oh, is it so good to be back at home at AT&T Stadium. Welcome to Dallas Cowboys football. Bill Jones along with Babe Loffenberg. And we've got Daryl the Moose Johnston joining us for his annual preseason visit this week. Babe's the man. You're the man who named Moose, didn't you?
I did. And the call. And the call. And on the Moose call. I give him the Moose call.
And there'd probably like to be some Moose calls in the stands tonight, but they are going to be cheering for some starters for a long time tonight. That includes Tony Romo.
It certainly does. We're going to see the NFL's leading passer tonight from last season. That wouldn't be Tom Brady. It wouldn't be Aaron Rodgers. It would be that man, Tony Romo. Led the NFL in passing. Going to get his most extensive work of the preseason tonight and probably his last work of the preseason. Won't be thrown to Dez Bryant. He was out here loosening up, but they'll hold him. But Daryl Johnston, my question to you. The New York Giants come into AT&T Stadium on September 13th. Who will Tony Romo be handing the ball off to, and what are you looking for tonight?
Well, I think it'll still be one of the three. I don't think that situation has resolved itself yet because of the injuries, and they've got to get some resolution there because the running game was such a big part of the identity, not just the offense, but the Dallas Cowboys as a team last year. So you need to get some clarity on that these last 2 games.
Joe Randall will start at running back for the Cowboys, and to get things started, we're approaching kickoff. Let's go to the sideline and Keith Russell.
All right, fellas, you know, one of the things I've found leading up to this game is the fans here are on edge. Every person I talk to, everywhere I turn, they're wondering what this Dallas Cowboys football team is going to be about this year. They were obviously not too impressed with the first 2 preseason games, and that started the panic. Are our boys, are them boys going to be as good as advertised? Well, tonight, fellas, I'm looking for the first string units to come out and set the tone and show folks, to tell them there's no need to panic. There's no need to jump off the bandwagon. This is going to be a memorable season, and it all starts here tonight, fellas.
We get a taste of it tonight. Keith Russell will be manning the sidelines throughout the evening as we are set to go with preseason game number 3. Minnesota will be kicking off to the Cowboys, so we'll get an early look at Tony Romo and the Cowboys' first-team offense. Blair Walsh has the football teed up. Lance Dunbar deep in the end zone for the Cowboys. And here we go with the dress rehearsal 2015. Deep in the end zone and through the end zone as Blair Walsh is kicked. He's ready for the regular season. From the 20, Tony Romo at quarterback. We saw him only briefly last week against the 49ers, Babe.
I think I would consider that briefly. Handed the ball off twice and then threw a little dump pass. Cowboys punted, and Tony Romo put on a baseball hat for the rest of the day. But, yeah, I think no matter how long you've played, Bill, you still get the feeling that Tony Romo enjoys going out and enjoys competing. He's going to get the opportunity to do a little bit of that tonight.
Cowboys come out with a 2 tight end set, and Joseph Randall is the setback behind Romo. Jason Witten at tight end getting his first action of the preseason. And there goes Randall up the middle for about 3, 2nd and 7. Take a look at the Miller Lite Dallas Cowboys starting lineup on offense. The only one missing from that offensive line is Zach Martin, still out from the stinger, suffered a couple of weeks ago. Tyron Smith making his first start of the preseason. The skill players, Randall, the running back, Terrence Williams, Cole Beasley, 2 tight ends to start this one, Witten and Gavin Escobar. No Dez Bryant. Terrence Williams on the receiving end, picks up 4, brings up an early 3rd and 3.
We talk about the running situation at the top, Babe, but really one of the other things that we really haven't discussed a lot about is the fact that this offensive line really hasn't had the opportunity to play together. I always felt that the offensive line benefited the most as a positional group in training camp, building that camaraderie and that chemistry between the 5 guys.
Yeah, and I don't think Tyron Smith had a choice tonight. As soon as Tony found out he's playing, he said, Tyron,
Yeah.
You're playing. But no, he missed the first couple. As a matter of fact, Tyron Smith did with an injury, and it's been a little bit of those nicks and bruises that you see in training camp for the offensive line, but nothing that'll keep anybody out for that opener on September 13th.
The flag moves it back 10 yards, and it's 2nd and long now for Romo and the Cowboys offense from the 12. And on the draw play, Randall gets about 5.
When you talk about the transformation that Joseph Randall will have to make, Darryl, last year he did a lot of this. 3rd and long, 2nd and long, got that draw, easy, a lot of space to run it. How about when he gets into those tight quarters?
That's what you need to find out. That's what we have to see tonight, running between the tackles and really the ability to count on him to come up week after week, game after game with the defense trying to stop him. He's not the change of pace back this season.
In the 3 wide receiver set for the Cowboys, A.J. Jenkins getting an opportunity at the bottom of the screen with Dez Bryant out. And down goes Romo. And it's punt time for the Cowboys.
We got a penalty down in the secondary here. Tony Romo saying, hey, it's on them. Minnesota comes out. They play 2 safeties deep. They play man across the board underneath, so it's just a 4-man rush. Ultimately, they get to Tony in there. But again, the flag was not in the pocket. It was about 20 yards downfield.
Holding by the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty for the previous spot. An automatic first down.
Boy, an important thing of that last call that we heard there from our referee tonight, Ronald Tolbert, it was automatic first down, 5-yard penalty. And you hate that as a defensive coach. You got him in 3rd and 13. You don't need to do that, huh, Darryl?
It's one of those situations. There was really good coverage throughout the secondary of the Minnesota Vikings, and Mike Zimmer's not going to be real happy with his guys in that situation because you pointed out 3rd and long, you don't want to have a call that gives the offense another set of downs.
Appears to also not be happy, Bill, with the officiating on that play. Imagine that.
We've seen him upset before when he was on the Cowboys sideline. Pickup of 3, 2nd and 7. Zimmer, of course, in his 2nd year as the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. Long overdue that he became a head coach in this league.
I really liked him here. I always tell him, hey, I won't tell anybody you actually have a heart, because he's rough on these guys. He coaches them hard. He's tough on them.
He's fair, though.
Yeah, but and the players that play for him like him.
Everyone.
Once again, Randall, and nothing there this time. A loss of a yard for Randall, and it's going to be 3rd and long for the Cowboys again.
And I'll tell you just how tough Zimmer is. His son, Adam Zimmer, coaches the linebackers here for the Minnesota Vikings. And he told me, so I told him, I walked him in the office, he said, don't think I won't fire you. If I'm going to get fired because of you, I'm firing you. Now, I don't know how you call your son in to say, hey, Adam, come down the hall here. I got some bad news for you. You don't have a job.
3rd and 8 from the 24. Last week we saw the Niners with an all-out blitz. Vikings threatened that time. The dump off to Cole Beasley, and he's a yard short of the first down.
But what a job by Jason Witten out there. Watch Witten leading Cole Beasley in front here, and he just stays on his block, keeps his feet moving. Doesn't get his feet crossed up. Almost got Beasley the first down. Here we get a look at it. Witten on the left side. Just watch him. Never leaves his block there. That's not easy to do, to just stay on your man.
Another example why Jay Novacek during training camp said Jason Witten is the best all-around tight end in the history of the game. He does it all.
Jay Novacek would know.
Marcus Sherrills is deep for the Vikings and fields that football out of bounds. The punt off the foot of Chris Jones goes 54 yards, and the Vikings will take over on offense after the Cowboys first-teamers can't do much. Their first opportunity against the Vikings. Great night for football. Happy you could join us here on the Cowboys Broadcasting Network. Now's a good time to order a Papa John's pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. An August evening indoors at AT&T Stadium. Minnesota takes over on offense for the first time with Teddy Bridgewater, the second-year man out of Louisville, at quarterback for the Vikings. And he dumps it off to the right side. Of course, no Adrian Peterson. It's Jerick McKinnon who gets the first down, a pickup of 11. Cowboys defensively, and for the first time this preseason, the first time since 2013, Sean Lee is getting some activity.
He just got to be like a wild Mustang. He was in practice in Oxnard, flying around like it was a game. He was talking up the defense. He wasn't allowing anything to happen that he didn't like. He was screaming at him, and I know he's excited to be playing again.
First down from the 28. Of course, Lee had the ACL injury a year ago, May. Start of OTAs. No running room that time for Jerick McKinnon. Big loss on the play. Kyle Wilbur among those over to stop McKinnon. And the Miller Lite starting lineups for the Cowboys on defense. DeMarcus Lawrence, Tyrone Crawford, Nick Hayden, Greg Hardy listed as the starters, with Jeremy Mincy also in there. Kyle Wilbur, Andrew Gatchkar gets the test in the middle tonight, and Sean Lee is at that weak side linebacker position, all important in Rod Marinelli's defense. Brandon Carr, Mo Claiborne gets the start at right cornerback. The safeties are Wilcox and Church, and it's second and long for the Vikings. Bridgewater throws to the far sideline, complete to Mike Wallace, former Miami Dolphin and Pittsburgh Steeler, came over in a trade.
Really excited to see this Dallas defense this year, the additions that they have up on the defensive line to get pressure on the quarterback. I think the big question is weathering that storm those first 4 weeks without Greg Hardy, without Rolando McClain in the lineup. How are they going to sort that out here towards the tail end of the preseason?
It is interesting because it's going to look like a different defense when they take the field against the Giants, and then 4 weeks later, provided Rolando McClain is healthy, which he hasn't been through camp, it's going to look like a different defense again against the New England Patriots.
Randy Gregory, right defensive end in there. Teddy Bridgewater on the run. There is a flag down in the Vikings backfield, and he is short of a first down by a couple of yards.
Coming over to talk to Jason Garrett here, and I think he's going to say, let's decline this one, bring up a 4th and 2, and Vikings will punt it.
Offense, number 79. That penalty is declined. Result of the play.
You talked about Sean Lee chomping at the bit, but one of the hallmarks of a Rod Marinelli coach defense is just the speed. I mean, watch everybody flying around from the secondary to the linebacker level. As soon as Teddy Bridgewater steps up, look at all the pursuit angles closing in on that, forcing him to slide short of the first down.
Including number 76, Greg Hardy there.
And this defensive front forced some holding calls last week against San Francisco. Again, they don't show up as sacks, but I almost think they should.
Jeff Locke, the punter for the Vikings. Short punt. Cole Beasley fields it at the 26, and he's brought down after a 6-yard return. A punt of 38 yards for Jeff Locke, and the Cowboys will get their second opportunity on offense here.
Only a 6-yard return, but I like that by Cole Beasley, because if that ball hits the ground and starts rolling, who knows where they're going to start this drive.
Cole Beasley might be that guy in 2 weeks when the Cowboys... You could start the season by winning $2 million in Week 1 at DraftKings.com, the daily fantasy sports destination. Use promo code Cowboys to play free for a shot at $2 million. Cowboys on offense for the second time, starting at their own 32 this time. And there's Joseph Randle with some running room. There's a flag down as Randall got near the first down stake.
Yeah, and this one's coming back, holding on Dallas, but they had a good push on that left side.
Holding. Offense. Number 65. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
That's Ronald Leary, number 65.
They finally get something going in the running game, and we're going to get a hold on Ronald Leary, the left guard, going up to that second level. I'm not going to say that I never held in the NFL, babe, but when he separates from you, you got to let go.
Yeah,
you got. That's most of the times you get caught doing that is because as he starts to break away, you continue to hold on to that jersey.
They see that. And it's a shame because he actually had pretty good contact and was moving him a little bit. Joseph Randall could have taken care of that.
Now working the right side, and Lance Dunbar this time, and not much there for Dunbar. The three running backs in contention: Randall, McFadden, and Dunbar. Dunbar more the third down back. Gets in there on a 1st and long that time.
Yeah, you go long yardage, they come back in here. Look at Romo, like he's going to run the ball, huh, DJ? Little read option.
Got to hold the defensive end on the opposite side.
Got to be careful because they'll hit you.
That's right.
He looked like a runner to me.
Terrell Suggs will hit you like he did Sam Bradford last week.
Yes, he did.
Now empty backfield for Romo this time. Has time, throws far sideline, looking for A.J. Jenkins, and over his head, Xavier Rhodes, former first-round draft pick, defending for the Vikings.
You're seeing a lot of man coverage out of the Vikings early, Darryl, with a 4-man rush. Haven't been able to shake free here.
I think Coach Zimmer does a good job of mixing things up on that one. He rushes the 4 and drops into coverage. We've seen a little bit of everything so far that Scott Linehan and his offense has had to protect Tony Romo in some blitz situations, and then Tony's had to recognize that coverage and try and find that open spot.
Yeah, and you talk about protecting Tony Romo. This one you don't want him holding the ball back here long. Look for a screen or a quick pass or something along those lines.
And over the head of Gavin Escobar this time.
Romo does take a shot at the end of this thing. He and Escobar a little miscommunication, and Romo not real happy at the end of this one.
Well, you know, there's been good coverage down the field. You know, that's incidental, maybe a little bit of a roll and a toss there at the end that might not have pleased Tony Romo at the end of it, but it could be some frustration right now. This offense has been out of sync. They have not really looked good here at the start of the game again.
So punt time again for Chris Jones, the left footer. High punt, and fair catch called for by Marcus Sherrills with Byron Jones in his face at the 25-yard line. A 51-yard punt for Jones after a 54-yarder earlier. He's averaging over 50 yards a punt this preseason. More Vikings offense when we come back to AT&T Stadium. Scoreless here at AT&T Stadium. Babe, what happened on that last play, the Romo incompletion?
Tony was trying to get Cole Beasley down the middle of the field. This is Beasley here. Watch him. He'll motion inside. They'll kind of run a little stack route. Now he wants Beasley down the middle of the field in single coverage. Did not like the route he got from Beasley. You can see the defender kind of coming up underneath Beasley. Came off and looked like he had a word or two with Beasley, saying, hey, it's not what I need out of you right there.
Back live
That's the guy getting singled up in that coverage. It was Beasley, and that's where Romo wanted to go with the football. Now, I do say this, Darryl. I think Cole Beasley, he's outstanding underneath. I mean, just uncoverable on all those little options and slant routes. The farther he gets away from the line of scrimmage, because of his height, because he's 5'8", the more difficult that throw becomes to him.
2nd and 8 after McKinnon got a couple of yards, and he gets a couple more near the 30.
That's why I always thought, Darryl, Miles Austin really gave you that big body in there. You know, 6'2", 6'3", playing that slot. He could hit the middle of the field, and you could almost throw that tight end ball up to him, get it up high, and he can make the play for you. Cole Beasley has a little more difficulty with that.
Yeah, you hear quarterbacks talk about that big catch radius, and obviously with Cole Beasley and his size, it's not going to be there. And I agree, he's going to be hard to find once he gets into that secondary as he's going vertical down the field. But you got to be able to do everything, right? You can't just be that inside slot guy working underneath. So maybe a little bit of a change-up for the Cowboy offense. Put something on film.
Yeah.
Rushman in the game. Gregory at right defensive end. Lawrence on the left side. Greg Hardy inside at tackle along with Tyrone Crawford. And A flag comes down in the secondary as the pass was underthrown.
Cowboys are going to scream uncatchable on this one. Barry Church with a blitz right up the middle. He hits Bridgewater right as he delivers the football. Again, the ball thrown into
Prior
that.
to the pass, holding, defense, number 39. It's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Okay, well, the holding takes that off. If it's pass interference and an uncatchable ball, that's one thing, but they called the hold. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. A lot of times it's like we talked about earlier on when you have that jersey, and that's one of the things that they really started to look at last season, will continue this year. Anytime you get a hold of that jersey, it's going to be defensive holding. I did not see that from Brandon
I
Carr.
didn't either, and he was within the 5 yards.
Yeah.
He let him go after 5, it appeared.
But instead, it's a 5-yard penalty, automatic first down. Brandon Carr at left corner, Mo Claiborne, the right cornerback, with Orlando Scandrick out for the season now. That's Jarius Wright, and Carr runs him out of bounds. The Scandrick injury this week gets a huge blow to that secondary.
I think very similar to what we talk about on the offensive side of the ball with DeMarco Murray and his style of running that the offense kind of fed off, especially the offensive line. I love the swagger of Orlando Scandrick, the way he played the game. Fearless, didn't back down from anybody. You may be able to have some players come in and do some of the things he did, but as that leader, that guy that set the tone on the defensive side of the ball, it's tough to replace.
Torn ACL and MCL, had surgery on Thursday. He placed on injured reserve. Cowboys do have some depth at cornerback, however, this year. That's Mike Wallace. Not much there, but enough to get the first down, looks like.
Man, the Vikings had the right play call for that defense, not knowing that the Cowboys were going to blitz, but Tyler Patman comes off the left side of that Vikings offense, off the slot, right side of the Cowboys defense. Ball comes out, you get man coverage, and the way they went.
Good recognition by him to see that. I thought he was going to have an opportunity to make a play on the ball. One of the guys that will have to play a big role in replacing Orlando Scandrick this year. I've been impressed with him last season and the start of this year.
And
He's got a little Orlando Scandrick.
He does.
Yeah, he does. As we saw in training camp, he's got some feistiness about him. Just ask Des Bryant. First down from the 46. McKinnon with a hole, and it closes quickly after a pickup of 3.
I think that's something tonight that we need to see defensively is the run defense. We've talked so much about the ability to pressure the quarterback and Randy Gregory and Greg Hardy and Marcus Lawrence getting better, but you can't do that and then not stop the run. That's one of the first things every coordinator says. We've got to stop the run, and last week against San Francisco really struggled.
Terrell McClain, number 97, getting his first action of the preseason at one of the defensive tackle spots alongside Jack Crawford now. Bridgewater hit late, the throw deep downfield to Mike Wallace, and that's what Mike Wallace brings to this Vikings offense.
Wow, what a great throw. I mean, really good coverage out there on the outside, but not good enough. And it's the old thing, there's no defense, Darryl, for the perfect pass, and this was the perfect pass.
Yeah, and he stood in there. He knew he was going to take that hit at the end of that throw. Jeremy Mincy looping back to the inside. Teddy Bridgewater knows he's going to take a shot, stands in that pocket, makes a heck of a throw down the side.
39 yards to Mike Wallace.
Over number 39, Brandon Carr, but not bad coverage by Carr, just a perfect throw.
The Vikings in business at the 12. Short pass inside the 10-yard line. Sean Lee in on the tackle.
And Darryl, speaking strictly in football terms, I'm sure Bridgewater comes in, he's a rookie quarterback, and he says, wow, this is going to be great. I've got number 28 back here in the backfield that's going to take some of the pressure off me, and then number 28 basically doesn't play the season.
No, I really think it cost the Minnesota Vikings a couple of games last year. Had them late in the year. North Turner said, we could be 2 wins better if we just had Adrian Peterson back there. We just turn around and let Teddy hand it off to him. They lost their play action game.
There's a false start.
False start. Offense, number 75, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
And I did think Darryl Bridgewater, and you saw him late in the season, I thought he really improved as the season went on, which I would say you would expect from a rookie quarterback. But I don't say expect, you hope for it. But I thought he really did improve as the season wore on.
I thought he played well down the stretch. He doesn't seem like a rookie when you sit down and talk to him last season. We all rave about Norv Turner, and you're very fortunate to be in a Norv Turner offense. So it'll be interesting to see how he does in his sophomore year.
Tonight he's 5 for 5 for 70 yards so far. Now 6 for 6 inside the 10 near the 8-yard line. Lee over to make the stop with help from Claiborne.
And I know it's preseason, but he came into this game completing 78% of his passes, and he said his goal this year was to complete 70%. That would be something because it's only been done 5 times before. Mincy, pretty good pass rush on the outside. Then he took himself out. He was hobbled at the end of this play. Jeremy Mincy was. Kind of waved to the sideline saying, hey, I need somebody to come in here.
Speaking of those completion percentage of 70%, Romo was almost there last year at 69.9% himself.
One incompletion away from completing 70.
Third down. Under pressure, and down he goes. Ball almost came out.
That's the huge plus there, especially when you get into the red zone area for your defense. If you're able to get home, if you're able to get to the quarterback with just your down 4, and you allow those other guys to drop back into coverage and really cloud everything up for that quarterback.
And the impressive thing about that, Darryl, it was DeMarcus Lawrence on the right side pushing him up. Gregory there. The pocket collapsed. Bridgewater just had nowhere to run.
Hardy affected things inside as well. Blair Walsh, who has not been automatic this preseason, is able to connect on that 29-yarder. And the Vikings score first, but the Cowboys defense up to the challenge once they got inside the red zone. 3-0 Minnesota with the early lead on the Cowboys here early in the first quarter at AT&T Stadium. Dallas Cowboys football is back, and you can see it live at AT&T Stadium. Single game tickets are available for most 2015 home games. Go to DallasCowboys.com for tickets. Bill Jones with Babe Loffenberg and Daryl Moose Johnston in the booth this week as the Vikings have taken the early lead 3-0. Babe, the Cowboys would like to do a little bit better on special teams than they did a week ago in San Francisco.
It's the hardest thing to coordinate in the preseason, but it was about as bad a performance as I've seen in a long, long time.
Everything that can go wrong did go wrong, it seemed like, special teams-wise. Lance Dunbar with some room. And he gets out to the 28-yard line. Nice return by Dunbar.
Nice return by Dunbar there. You talk about what went wrong last week. Punt block for a touchdown. They had 10 men on the field for a PAT. San Francisco had returns of 27-34, 23-21. They missed a field goal. They bobbled a punt, and Devin Street ran into Lucky Whitehead.
But they don't have to defend against an Aussie rugby player this week. Baylor's Scott and White Health has created a network of more than 800 locations. To find a location near you, visit BaylorScottandWhite.com. Possession number 3 for the Cowboys' first-team offense. Got a fullback in the game now at Tyler Klutz.
Yeah, I smell a run. I smell a run. Although now the Vikings are playing an 8-man front.
Play fake. Going to throw it to the running back, Randall. And a nice pickup. Second and short.
I think Romo checked out of that, Darryl. I think he saw it and said, this doesn't look so good.
I like the throw, though. I mean, he's got a lot of people. It's not a great angle, and it's a heck of a throw by Tony Romo into the flat. He made that look easy. That was not an easy throw.
You talked about Romo almost being 70% last year, Bill, and again, he was one incompletion. If he has one fewer incompletion on that season, he's the 6th guy.
Wow.
Or the 6th time it would have happened in NFL history to complete 70%.
There's Randall working behind the left side, blocking of Tyron Smith and Ronald Leary over there.
Had an opportunity to visit with Danny White pregame, and he actually went a step further than that, Babe. He actually said you take away those 3 interceptions in that San Francisco game in the opener, and Tony Romo has the all-time quarterback rating record.
Wow.
And he actually felt he probably he wasn't ready to play at that time yet, and he wanted him to sit out. And if he had, he would have had one. I think he projected it out to be like 126.
And we played a little golf together, right, Darryl?
Mm-hmm.
You take away the triple bogey I had on 17 and the quad I had on 6, and I shot 78.
And moved that water in front of 4.
At the end of the first quarter. End of the first quarter.
We're through one quarter here at AT&T Stadium. Cowboys down by 3 early against the Vikings. Where do your donations to the Salvation Army go? Wherever hope is the only thing left. Donate today. The Salvation Army, doing the most good. Start of the second quarter here at AT&T Stadium. The world's largest center-hung video board. It's great to be back home in Arlington. Cowboys with the football with a first down at the 40. Romo with time over the middle. There's Terrence Williams. Lots of running room. There goes Terrence Williams. Touchdown, Cowboys.
I tell you what, that's a great decision by Tony Romo because he's got Jason Witten wide open in the flat for about an 8 to 12-yard gain, and he lets that play develop a little bit more, and it just opens wide up for Terrence Williams in the middle of the field.
Yeah, and a great route by Terrence Williams there. He's running an in route from the left side, but just watch how he squares it off, and especially, hey, high school football just started up last night. We had more games today. Watch Terrence Williams. When he breaks, he comes parallel to the line of scrimmage. Doesn't fall upfield and get into the safeties, and then just outruns them to the end zone. Heck of a throw and catch right there. Terrence Williams, 4th in the NFL last year, by the way. There you see again. Watch him come flat.
There's 5 guys. There's 5 guys in that little area.
Product of the Dallas Independent School District, I might add.
W.T. White.
W.T. White Longhorn had 8 touchdowns last year. 5 touchdowns his rookie year. Terrence Williams has a knack for finding the end zone.
You would see another look at it. And Bill, how hard is it for an OU guy like yourself just to say Longhorn, even if it is high school?
Not a problem when it's the W.T. White Longhorns.
And there's that experience at your quarterback position. You've got the easy throw to Witten on the outside, but you're waiting on that to see if it's going to come open in the middle of the field because you know you got a shot at a big play. And then you pointed out, babe, that's a heck of a route, but really a nice throw into that tight window with 5 defenders around Terrence Williams.
You know what I like too, Daryl? We sit here as Cowboy broadcast, and the Cowboy fan watches that, and they all look, wow, great protection. That was awesome. Tony's great. Terrence Williams is great. Do you think in the Minnesota film room they just say, oh, you know what, that's a heck of a route, and that's a heck of a throw, and Des Bryant likes it.
But sometimes it's like you said earlier, when Brandon Carr is in great position and Teddy Bridgewater just drops one over the top. I mean, these guys are so good at this level that sometimes you just got to defer that, hey, that was a heck of a play.
The Ford Cowboys scoring drive. Visit your local North Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. 72 yards in 3 plays. The 60-yarder to Terrence Williams out of Baylor University.
I do want to see that starting offense, though, come back out for another series at least, because up until that play, that's just one play. It's a 60-yard play, big play over the top. But other than that, it's been a kind of a rough night for the offense so far.
We'll see what night it is for special teams. Cordero Patterson, one of the best in the business. And there goes Cordero Patterson. He had a 109-yarder. You can't beat that record. His rookie year with the Vikings. He goes 107 this time.
We talked about how poor the special teams were last week. Again, it really doesn't worry me, Daryl, because you got guys that have never played it, guys that won't be playing it, but you were part of that. You played special teams for the Cowboys here, and imagine you hadn't played it a whole lot in college.
I have no idea, but this is fundamental football. You had 2 guys cross into the middle of the field, get out of their lanes. There was only J.J. Wilcox left on the left side. I don't know what L2, L3, and L4 were doing on that kickoff coverage team.
Well, that's Rich Bisaccia, the special teams coach, is probably saying that.
I mean, look at this. I mean, everybody's getting trapped to the inside. It's unacceptable. You've got a job to do. Lance Dunbar got pushed inside. They had Damian Wilson got shoved inside. I mean, they collapsed the entire left side of the coverage unit down inside.
There's Rich Bisaccia, the Cowboys special teams coach, and I guarantee you could go fry an egg on top of his head right now if you wanted to.
But you can't chase to the ball. You have to honor your lane. You have lane integrity. Look at everybody inside. That's just J.J. Wilcox. They get a pin. It's over right now. That's Cordero Patterson. It is over. You can't ask Dan Bailey to make that stop.
Patterson made the Pro Bowl his rookie year as a kick returner.
As you mentioned, Bill, truly a record that'll never be broken.
That's right.
You can't take
109 yards.
Till they start lengthening the end zones like Canadian football. 109 is as good as you can do.
You like first down at the 53-yard line?
Yeah.
Love that Canada, right?
Guys moving everywhere, yeah. Wow.
And one thing about Cordero Patterson, hasn't developed as a wide receiver the way the Vikings would have liked. Played for Derek Dooley at University of Tennessee, but he is dynamite as a return guy.
Game-breaking speed, but in the system that Norv Turner runs, it's precise. There's landmarks, there's splits, there's all these things that the attention to detail is what Cordero Patterson is going to have to learn.
Dunbar will not get an opportunity to return the favor, and the Cowboys will start at their own 20-yard line. So very quickly, Tony Romo is back out on the field.
And you know, Darryl, you talked about Tony and the 3 interceptions at the beginning of the season. Well, first half against San Francisco 49ers. Let me throw it to the what-if game. What if the Cowboys had drafted Johnny Manziel last year? Romo comes out, they're down 28-7 at the half. He's thrown 3 interceptions. How loud do you think this AT&T Stadium crowd would have been screaming for Johnny Manziel? And how much would it possibly affected the season?
I don't even go to that one if because they were very, very smart and took Zach Martin.
Who made the Pro Bowl in his rookie season. Darren McFadden picks up 6.
I want to get back to it, though. What if Manziel is standing there on the sideline? The Cowboys went in, down 28-7. Romo admittedly looked awful. Threw 3 first half interceptions. Could you have imagined?
Brian Hoyer played poorly in Cleveland, and Johnny Manziel didn't find the field, so he ain't going to find the field for Tony Romo. He had to throw 7 interceptions in the first half before Johnny would have been in there.
I always think about that, though.
To answer your question, it would depend on how many Aggies were in attendance at that San Francisco game last year.
There's a lot of red there.
There's a lot of Darren McFadden. Nice pickup. McFadden has the first down.
What do you see in Darren McFadden, Darryl?
Well, right there, I just saw faith and trust in your offensive line to hit that hole. You're just going to watch him stretch right there, and then the one cut up the field. That's very well done. That's great blocking. Love to see Cole Beasley down the field. If you're going to have big runs, you got to have your wide receivers blocking downfield.
That hole looked like the hole that Cordero Patterson had on the kickoff return. Just parted the Red Sea on that right side. Darren McFadden said, it wasn't like this in Oakland.
Huge hole. First down at the 39. Deep right side. Terrence Williams trying to keep his feet in bounds like he did in Seattle. Can't do so, though. Long incompletion. Let's go down to the sideline and Keith Russell.
Hey, Bill. Hey, fellas. One of the things that Terrence Williams has worked on this training camp and this preseason is making sure he's a reliable option when the Cowboys don't have Dez Bryant or when Dez Bryant is double and triple covered. Now, after that touchdown, Dez Bryant said, that's the mindset I'm talking about. That's the mindset. Cole Beasley came over and said, bye, as in we know Terrence Williams has the potential as evidenced by those 3 touchdowns and that 2-game playoff run last year. And all the coaches say he has a different mindset. He wants to be more of a leader and wants to be more of a playmaker this season.
All right, thanks, Keith.
Got to get that updated for him with that 60-yard touchdown.
Yeah, let's take a look on the outside here. A little double move by Terrence. Problem is he's running right up the sideline. There's nowhere to throw the football. So while it's a completion, you got to save some room for the quarterback so that when that ball comes over your outside shoulder, you're not catching it out of bounds. You see it all the time at all levels, and he just needed to save Tony more room to put that ball over his outside shoulder.
By the way, he was working against the Vikings' first-round draft pick out of Michigan State, Trey Waynes there, who's with him step for step. There's lots of flags down, and McFadden is short of the first down.
Does he? Jason Garrett just has a look like, I don't know. I don't want to say disinterested. That wouldn't be correct, but
holding. Offense, number 82.
Inquisitive.
The penalty is declined. Result of the play is 4th down.
He looks like the kid in class that just got asked a question that he doesn't know, that he had no idea the answer to, or wasn't paying attention.
Which has never been the case for the Princeton grad.
No. I was coaching. Everybody probably at some point or another has coached youth basketball, football, baseball, some sport, and I coached my little basketball team, all the 10-year-olds, and I'd tell them, hey, if I don't have your eyes, I don't have your ears. Oh no, Coach Babe, you got my ears. I said, what did I just say? And they'd come up with something that I might have said 3 weeks ago, like, got to stay low on defense. Well, that was last practice. Yeah. That's
Chris Jones.
That's when my heart went out to all those teachers out there trying to educate them for 8 hours a day.
That's right. Marcus Sherrills with the fair catch at the 15-yard line. That's where the Vikings will take over after the 38-yard punt off the foot of Chris Jones. 12 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Cowboys have had one spark on offense with the 60-yarder to Terrence Williams. Their lone touchdown so far, and Teddy Bridgewater and the Vikings take over again. Trailed by 3 in the second. Today, before the Cowboys were on the field, moms were on the field. The Cowboys teamed up with Baylor Scott and White Health for a free safety clinic that included tackling techniques demonstrated by Tony Casillas, Rocket Ismail, and Michelle Witten, the wife of Cowboys tight end Jason Witten and mother of 2 young football players. Teddy Bridgewater and the Vikings taking over here in a pickup of about 8. Gatchkar, actually Bridgewater out of the game now. It's the veteran Sean Hill at quarterback.
Sean Hill has been around 14th year. That's pretty impressive.
It seems like every time he's going to get that opportunity, something happens to him. In St. Louis last year, he's finally going to get the opportunity to be the starter, and he gets hurt against Minnesota.
Undrafted, coming out of college, 14 years later, still playing in the NFL.
Matt Asiata, the running back now. Bridgewater, not a bad evening for him. 7 for 7 for 76 yards.
Couldn't get one more yard?
Yeah, that's what everything's coming up 7s for him, huh?
Remember Bridgewater leading up to the draft last year? Apparently he had a horrible pro day, and the draftniks all look at that and go, oh, this guy has no chance of making it. Vikings did a very smart thing trading up to the first round, so they got the 5th-year option on Bridgewater. Hit and dropped short of the first down. Gatchkar comes up, getting an opportunity at middle linebacker tonight.
That's right. I think the whole thing, he was a first rounder, Bridgewater was, but the 32nd player taken, last player in the first round.
That's a good job by Gatchkar, recognizing that he's got an open lane, and he gets up there quick to cut that distance down to prevent them from getting that first down.
Hey, 52 can just play. They move him all around. He's smart. Again, civil engineering major in college. Can play any of those positions, and good tackler. Had a heck of a game against San Francisco last week.
Cowboys had a good read on Gatchkar because Bisaccia was in San Diego and knew all about him. Cole Beasley from the 25, trying to find a hole, and he gets about 6. And a flag down.
The punter is down.
And that's where the flag is, in the vicinity of Jeff Locke.
And that's why they protect those punters.
You got to give him the opportunity to land cleanly. And actually, now the question is, was J.J. Wilcox blocked into him?
That's what they're going to take a look at here.
That was Eric Kendricks, second-round draft pick, who was blocking J.J. Wilcox. Number 54, Kendricks and Wilcox.
And Wilcox actually gets pulled down to the ground.
Yeah, he's running over Eric Kendricks. So this is an interesting one right there, because when you're going down, a lot of times you'll grab that player who's now kind of won that individual battle, and you'll pull him down with you. And it looked like that's what happened there, where it should have been no flag.
Number 54, the kicking team. Dallas has elected to take a 10-yard penalty from the previous
actually
spot.
on Kendricks.
And
He actually did the hold.
Yep, they called the hold on Kendricks, blocking.
You see it from time to time in a punt protection or kickoff return. Now he's going to start to get overpowered, so watch Kendricks 54. He's just going to pull him to the ground right there. So we're worried about the call on J.J. Wilcox and roughing the kicker, and the referees actually had it right with holding on number 54.
And Jason Garrett decides he wants the Vikings to punt again rather than taking the football at his own 31, which is where Beasley had returned the previous punt.
I really feel the advantage always goes to the return team when you have penalties in the kicking game.
So now it's the kicker, Blair Walsh, who will do the punting as Locke limped off.
Heck of a punt.
From the 37. Heck of a return. Cole Beasley down the sideline. Can Blair Walsh tackle? He got him knocked out of bounds with help. inside the 25-yard line. Nice return by Cole Beasley of 36 yards after a 49-yard punt by Blair Walsh.
And a nice call by Daryl Johnston, and you see it time and again. That team comes down, it's a 40-yard sprint, and no matter how much you talk yourself into, I'm going to go after it with the same intensity, Daryl. And it just seems like that punt team always is a little bit of a lull in that, and Cole Beasley took advantage.
Great sell up the middle right there, then bounces to the outside, picks up some blockers on the edge, so that holding penalty ends up being a 47-yard holding penalty. From the 31 of Dallas to the 23.
So the Cowboys in business with by far their best field position of this game. Coming left, McFadden. Shows some of that talent and why he was the 4th pick in the draft in 2008 out of Arkansas.
And watch the block on the left side when he breaks out. And Daryl, you addressed it earlier. Lucky Whitehead out here. You don't have to kill anybody on the outside. You just have to keep your man, stay on him a little bit, and then the running back will do the rest. And that's exactly what Whitehead did. Just keep stalking him, stay up, let that back make his move, and a nice job by Lucky Whitehead on the outside with the block for Darren McFadden.
McFadden has 4 carries for 37 yards. Had a lot of time, now has a lot of time again, and there's a wide open man in the end zone, and that would be one Lucky Whitehead, the rookie out of Florida Atlantic.
Well, this week, Tony Romo talked about he wanted to be known as a progression guy at the line of scrimmage, getting the offense in the right play. I don't want to be considered an improvisational guy, but to have the ability to do that is irreplaceable.
And this is what I love about Tony. And young quarterbacks out there, take note. Watch the eyes drop down right here. He says, I gotta protect the ball and get myself out of trouble. He gets out of trouble. Now he's a passer again. But he was a passer, then he became a guy protecting the football, then he became a passer again, then he became a touchdown thrower.
And the second time around, he actually had a couple of options over there. He could have thrown it to McFadden, too, probably.
Oh, now you're going to say it was easy? Come on, Bill.
He made it look easy.
Oh, he could have thrown it to anybody.
Yeah. That's what happens when you can buy time, like Tony Romo did right there.
Lucky Whitehead was happy he threw it to him.
The luckiest guy in the world.
Yeah.
14-10, Dallas leads Minnesota. The Ford scoring drive was capped by this. Romo runs around in a circle, then finds his man, number 13, Lucky Whitehead. 8 yards for the touchdown. The Ford scoring drive was 23 yards, 2 plays. Visit your local North Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. And Lucky scored points on that 2-play drive in 2 different ways. First is blocking that helped McFadden get free for 15 yards, and then the touchdown grab. And there's some better special teams work.
And getting back to those special teams, Daryl, and again, you came out, 2nd round pick by the Cowboys. How much special teams had you played in college? Because I know you ended up playing them here with the Cowboys.
Yeah, it was just that first year, as a redshirt freshman, and then when you start minding your way into the offense, you take off those special teams. So not as much as you would have thought.
10, Dallas leads Minnesota. Tony Romo and Sean Lee making their first appearances of the first appearance for Lee, second appearance for Romo of the preseason, although it seems like it's his first, since he only had a 3-and-out a week ago. Looking much stronger is the Cowboys offense here. Matt Asiata, the dump off from Sean Hill. Time to recognize tonight's Bank of America Defensive Featured Player of the Game. And why not Sean Lee? Football fans bank with Bank of America, official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Had to be good for Sean Lee to get those reps on defense.
Absolutely. You talked about how long it's been. I can't believe December 2013 since he's been on the field in a game situation. So good to have Sean Lee back out on the field.
Now Sean Hill rolling right, looking downfield. And there comes the late flag and another. Mo Claiborne defending. Great opportunity for Mo Claiborne here to win that right cornerback slot.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 24. Automatic first down at the spot of the foul.
A tough injury to come back from, that patella tendon, and he did everything right there. It's just, again, it was kind of like we talked about early on, that 3rd and 13, you give the offense another opportunity with the penalty there. You've done everything right. You're in perfect position trailing that. Your quarterback is scrambling. It's going to be a tough throw. No need to get there early.
And I really believe Mo Claiborne just needs to get his confidence back. And it's hard. He hasn't demonstrated that he should be confident yet. But as much of the mental part is with the injury, it's his confidence.
Coming up is Barry Church. There's a late flag.
Well, I tell you what, he is really, really good at recognizing run and getting up in support. I mean, that's well done from the safety position.
Holding. Offense. Number 85. 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay. First down.
That's the tight end, Rhett Ellison, with the hold.
Now watch, he's going to come from depth back there. Watch, he recognizes it right away, and watch him just find his way through all those big bodies. That's great vision to the ball.
And one thing about Barry Church, and I've said it many times, but he's a really good tackler. He does not miss tackles, and at that safety position, if you miss tackle, you're the safety for a reason. There's nobody behind you. Now, he's not a ball-hawking, interception, Ed Reed type of guy, but boy, he does not miss many tackles.
1st and 20. Screen pass, Asiata. J.J. Wilcox makes the stop after a pickup of 12 yards.
That's a staple of a North Turner offense. I've seen that screen, Daryl.
Yeah, and it's executed well. I think a lot of people see screens and they're like, we should run more screens, but it takes a lot of practice to get good at it. Watch your linemen down the field, getting some blocks, chopping some guys down, giving Matt Asiata a lot of options in that secondary.
And Wilcox comes off.
Yeah, his right arm, right shoulder, kind of was just dragging it as he came off the field there. Cowboys head trainer Jim Maurer there with the consultation, and noted orthopedic surgeon Dan Cooper alongside him.
2nd down. Not much there for Asiata.
Dr. Cooper's noted now?
Well, because you can't say Dr. James Andrews without saying noted orthopedic surgeon, so I think, in my mind, Dan Cooper is a noted orthopedic surgeon.
Has he worked on you?
He has.
He actually has.
He has.
You too,
I will give him the noted.
Yeah. You better, because you may need to work
I have to
on
go
you
back.
again. Yeah.
3rd down. Vikings 0 for 3 on 3rd down. Got their lone touchdown on a kickoff return by Patterson. And the delay of game. The veteran is upset.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
Sean Hill came into the league with the Vikings when Scott Linehan was the offensive coordinator, and then he played for Scott Linehan at Detroit also.
Mike Zimmer not really liking what he sees there. Very quickly on Dr. Dan Cooper, also the Cowboys orthopedic surgeon there, noted orthopedic surgeon. Very quickly I said, and I hope I'm not violating any HIPAA laws, and I want Roger Staubach to turn the sound down, but I said, you ever get nervous operating? He said, only on Roger Staubach, because he grew up here. And
he's something of a legend here. Jump ball. How about that? The first interception of the preseason for the Cowboys, and it's Brandon Carr winning the jump ball.
Well, similar to the play we saw earlier, Darryl, where Carr got the ball thrown over the top of his head. This ball just a little bit short. It was not a perfect pass, and Brandon Carr in perfect position to make the play.
And the Cowboys have a takeaway. How about that? 10 Cowboys over the Vikings. Tony Romo's night is done as Dustin Vaughn is in at quarterback for the Cowboys. Brandon Wheaton, by the way, not dressed out tonight after suffering the concussion a week ago against the 49ers. So Dustin Vaughn, next man up for the Cowboys.
Rough game last week for Dustin Vaughn. threw 2 interceptions. We'll see if he can right the ship today.
And that's Ben Molina at running back out of Texas A&M and Cedar Hill. Tony Romo.
He had a nice night's work, huh, Darryl?
He did. He played well. I mean, some of the throws that you just take for granted, this one right here, that's not an easy throw to Joseph Randall out in the flat. This was tremendous. In the middle of 5 Minnesota Viking defenders finds that, and then there's that improvisational ability that he has. I don't know why. I can understand not wanting that to be your strength of your game, but gosh, it's such a great, it's a great part of what he does at the quarterback spot, being able to extend that.
I just like watching it.
Now Molina gets the first down. Another nice pickup.
Here's my thing with Romo. The year he had last year, and it's interesting because I think it really got overlooked. In part maybe because DeMarco Murray and everybody talked about a lot of things, but Romo led the NFL in passer rating last year, led the NFL in yards per attempt, led the NFL in completion percentage, and again, the last guy to do that was Tom Brady in 2007. And those are all important statistics. Those aren't like, well, who cares if on a Sunday at noon he played. These are the 3 things you look for in a quarterback, and he was the best in all 3 categories.
Dustin Vaughn goes down. Tom Johnson comes free.
And that pressure up the middle. Quarterback can step up if it's coming outside, either side, but right up the middle is the toughest thing for him to deal with.
Yeah, you did not fool Tom Johnson at all. That he didn't take that play fake, and he came right in between Tyron Smith and Ronald Leary,
yeah.
So a little bit of a blown assignment on that one.
Yeah, clearly that was not designed that way for the.
No, we don't turn the defensive tackle loose.
To read hot off the defensive tackle. You saw him just go right by Ron Leary there at left guard. Again, who knows the call, but whatever it wasn't the right one.
So the first team offensive line still in there. Goes behind Molina. Jason Garrett said before the game, expect a lot of the starters to play a full half, maybe some on into the third quarter.
And you heard Babe talk about Dustin Vaughn having kind of a rough night against San Francisco. He's got the opportunity to be with the starting offensive line here this evening. And this is one of those battles that's kind of looming out there. We talk about resolution with the running back situation, but also the third QB. What is Dallas going to do with the third QB? This is a great opportunity for Dustin Vaughn right now to show what he can do behind that starting offensive line.
Yeah, boy, that's got to be fun. Honestly, to get out there and you see 77
yeah, right?
and 70.
And yet, the first time he went back to throw, there came a guy free, and he got sacked. And there's a flag on the attempt out to Ben Molina.
Little screen pass out to the left, trying to slip Travis Frederick, the center out.
Offense, number 68. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is 4th down.
Dustin Vaughn saying, hey, I don't see a whole lot of difference between these guys and the guys I had last week.
Well, that was great recognition by the Minnesota front. We talked about the screen pass.
Yeah.
There's so many different parts that go along with that becoming a successful play. The offensive lineman being able to sell that is one of the most important.
So Chris Jones once again. Stephon Diggs, the rookie out of Maryland, is the deep man. Has an opportunity with some running room down the right sideline. Tyler Patman upset. Felt like he was held. 40-yard punt, 24-yard return. Let's go down to the sideline and Keith Russell.
Hey, fellas, injury update on J.J. Wilcox. He got his right shoulder checked out, but as he was taken back to the bench, he put his helmet on, he gave the thumbs up, and as we speak, he's prepared to go back out there on the field for your Cowboys defense.
And he is out there. Byron Jones also in the game. At a safety position. Sean Hill goes underneath. Jerick McKinnon. That's close to a first down. And it is.
That's a veteran there in Sean Hill. And Cowboys just play a deep zone. He said, you want to do that? I'll just dump it to my back. He'll make me 10, 11 yards, and he does.
Going through the progression.
Yeah.
Take that first guy that's open. Let the running back, let the receiver on the shorter route catch the ball and run with it.
As Jason Garrett will tell his quarterbacks, bore me with completions. That's what Sean Hill did right there.
3 receivers left this time, and the run goes up the middle to McKinnon. Greg Hardy hit him in the backfield. He got a couple.
Well, we hear about him as a pass rusher, but if you're up in the front of that defensive line, you also have to be a good run defender too, and that's a nice job by Greg Hardy coming down the line of scrimmage, making that tackle.
Of course, the Cowboys will be without Hardy the first 4 games of the season, without Rolando McClain, who has yet to work out with the team, coming off of knee surgery this summer. Complete right side, Stephon Diggs.
Boy, just a nice little easy pitch and catch there. Diggs runs an out on Brandon Carr on the right side, just gets Carr turned around a little bit.
Recognized that blitz coming from the right side. He's got his eyes out that way. Nice route. Turned Brandon Carr around a little bit.
And watch this. And good timing by Sean Hill. And that's a spot throw. You're throwing it to the sideline. You're getting it up. You know the receiver's going to be there. You don't wait for him to come out of his break. You throw it, and you count on him to get there, and they did.
This is a 2-minute warning.
And 2 minutes left here in the first half at AT&T Stadium. Cowboys trying to hold on at 14-10 in preseason game number 3. It's brought to you by AT&T, mobilizing your world. Bill Jones with Babe Loffenberg and Daryl Johnston. 2 minutes to go here in the first half.
Cowboys defense should stiffen up a little bit here because they've got basically their first team defense out there against the second team offense for the Minnesota Vikings.
With Sean Hill at quarterback, Rhett Ellison the tight end. Here comes a blitz, and going deep is Sean Hill. Mo Claiborne with the defense on Adam Thielen, a flag down.
Offensive pass interference. Claiborne got shoved by the receiver at the end of this thing. Or it should be. Don't want to jump to conclusions until our referee, Ronald Tolbert, tells us
Pass
it is so.
interference. Offense. Number 19. 10-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
So it goes against number 19, Adam Thielen.
Pretty easy call to make. You see, Claiborne never bites on this. Stays ahead of the receiver, then gets the push in the back at the end of it.
Yeah, Morris Claiborne has the right to that piece of the field right there. Adam Thielen cannot come through the back. Same thing as you're playing the ball as the defender. Nice call, Babe.
Yeah. Thank you. Sets him back a ways.
1st and 20. Trying to get some of it back. Nick Hayden getting his first playing time of the preseason, and on the stop on McKinnon.
Cowboys have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. See if they don't use one here on 3rd down just so they can get their offense back on the field. If they hold them here, force the field goal, have a little time for their offense to operate with 2 timeouts.
Brandon Carr defending on Stephon Diggs. And let's go to the sideline and Keith Russell.
Hey guys, here with Tony Romo. Tony, you have to be pleased with those 2 scoring drives.
Yeah, I think we needed to come out and put some points on the board, you know, just kind of being our first game at home, and thought we did a good job. The team did a good job of just staying committed to what we're doing, and it came together.
How'd you feel personally to get your first real taste of preseason action this preseason?
Yeah, I've always felt like you need to play. It's hard at the quarterback position, I think, for sure, just because, you know, when you're in there and you go through the situations, you know, every week, every day when you're at training camp and at practice, but what happens is everything gets just sped up just a little bit, and then on top of it, your internal clock wants to move a little faster. So when you play, you can slow it back down to being normal, like the repetitions you get at practice.
Time out.
You know, it took about a series, and then that kind of came back a little bit, but that's why I felt it was important to play today.
How special a connection is it becoming between you and Terrence Williams?
Yeah, he's great. He's had a great offseason, a great camp, and he continues to get better and better. And, you know, he's probably, he's one of the best run-after-catch guys I've ever seen. So, you know, if he gets the ball in his hands, he's got a chance to score.
And what did you say to Lucky Whitehead? It seemed like the entire team embraced that guy.
Yeah, he's had a good camp. You know, he brings it every day, and I feel like, you know, when you talk to the rookies, one of the big points you want to make to them is just figure out how to turn that internal clock on every day you walk into the locker room, because it's hard. It's not easy to get ready for practice every day and commit, and then get in the playbook and then not get much sleep and then do it again the next day. But if you flip that switch, when you walk in there, you have a chance. And he does that every day. He's a football player.
And as the Vikings make a field goal to close within one, we'll let you go, Tony. But what do you think this says to the people who were fearful over how this Cowboys team would look now that they've gotten a taste?
We don't worry about the outside noise. This is nothing more than just going out and trying to execute and improve and get better. And our team did that, starting off today. And we still are going to have some mistakes we're going to look at, and some guys we got to just improve upon certain areas. But we all have to do the same thing.
Thank you, Tony.
Appreciate it.
Good job, man. All right, fellas. Tony Romo, two scoring drives in the first half.
All right, thank you, Keith. And the field goal of 45 yards from Blair Walsh makes it a 14-13 Dallas lead with 1 minute left.
I thought that was interesting what he said about Lucky Whitehead. Jimmy Johnson used to call that your mental hook. It is difficult to go into the facility every day. Training camp is a grind, even under today's lighter rules, but it's still tough. You're away from your family, and Jimmy would always tell us when you step on that practice field, you got to have something that gets you back in that right frame of mind to be able to go out there and compete.
I think you probably heard "Let the mind fool the body" a time or two.
Yeah.
Let the mind fool the body.
Don't let the mind control the body. Let the body control the mind.
Some Jimmyisms.
You're not.
Yeah.
You're actually
But
not.
they're true.
You could get down in training camp. It was a grind. It both mentally and physically. And that's a great point that Tony made, especially about a young guy who was able to work through that.
And this was one of the longer Cowboys training camps in recent years, over 30 days, basically a month in Oxnard.
Dunbar stepped on the back end line there.
So Cowboys will have it at the 20-yard line.
And Jason Garrett, as Tony Romo was being interviewed, did indeed use a timeout there after that third down play. So the Cowboys have, with a minute left, 2 timeouts. And here we go. They worked all camp on this. And here comes your 2-minute drill, or the 1-minute drill, as the case may be.
And this 1-minute drill, we're going to say it is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Thank you for supporting Texas education and veterans.
Lance Dunbar is trying to break that 109-yard kickoff return record right
Yeah,
there.
he was.
Trying to get it all the way back there.
He's going to go for 111.
And, of course, against the Minnesota Vikings, Tony Dorsett set a record that will never be broken. 99 yards and a half, as Dandy Don put it on Monday Night Football.
With how many men on the field? 10 for the Cowboys.
Right. Yeah.
Defense, number 25, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic, first down.
You talk about records that'll never be broken, too. I think Dave Craig, the great Seattle Seahawks quarterback, undrafted free agent, like Tony Romo, played for Seattle for many, many years. They quit playing football at Milton College, where he...
So all his records won't be broken.
They will literally never be broken because they don't play.
Here's Tyler Klutz. And quickly back.
And a quick timeout by the
That's
Cowboys here.
Second charge timeout.
49 seconds left in the half.
This is a 30-second timeout.
And you just have more time than you think you do to get the ball down the field, and I like the little dump off here. I'd rather throw it to a guy wearing 48, but 44 will do.
I like the north-south, though.
Yeah, all of a sudden, you take those, and it's 8, and then all of a sudden, though, now you're knocking on the door for a field goal. And, hey, Minnesota, obviously they're playing deep, they're playing zone, they're trying to keep everything in front of them, so you don't want to force the ball into that coverage. Just keep dropping it off to your guys underneath, let them make plays for you. All of a sudden, you get the ball to 50, and then you start being a little more aggressive.
Eric Kendricks, the second-round draft pick in at linebacker for the Vikings, 54. There's a completion and a first down. One of the wide receivers the Cowboys brought in just about a week ago, a little over a week ago, Clyde Gates out of Abilene Christian, number 81. Former 4th-round draft pick of the Dolphins. A little behind Klutz that time. 48 would have had that.
But 48 would have had that.
Yep.
I do think it's hard, though, Darryl, and people can't appreciate this. You certainly can. When you're playing that fullback position, you don't have those receiver pads, right? Where you got those little half-inch pads on you.
Exactly.
So it's tough to turn for a football like that, is it not?
It restricts your range of motion. It really does. And then I always wore the collar too. Yeah. So that was that made things a little bit more. If Mike McCord, if I could wear it during the game, I'm putting it on. I had as many pads as you could wear.
Did you get anything new this week, Mike? I'll take it.
So 2nd and 10, just 23 seconds left. Toss right. Thought it was going to be a fullback pass, but no. Tyler Klutz carries the football. There's a flag down.
I didn't even know they had that in the playbook, to be quite honest. I'm not kidding.
Holding. Offense.
The fullback toss.
10-yard penalty. Replay. 2nd down.
I thought it was going to turn into Robert Newhouse throwing a halfback pass.
He's got to roll left, though, right?
Another number 44 in the Super Bowl. To Golden Richards, I believe.
And you wonder if this is a little bit of an audition for Tyler Klutz and maybe some of the third down packages, here in the 2-minute with protection, the ability to pass protect. It's another element, if we're trying to sort out this running back position, it's part of that job description. You've got to be able to recognize the blitzing fronts, pick up those guys that are trying to pressure the quarterback. So we're getting a little look right here is maybe can we expand his role on 3rd down.
And we saw that early in training camp with all the injuries at running back. Klutz was in this role. Former defensive end in college, Tyler Klutz. Now to 10 seconds left.
Yeah, Jason Garrett takes the timeout with 10 seconds remaining. It brings up a 3rd down here. 3rd and about 7. So what do you do now?
What you do now is you talk about the Bank of America Offensive Featured Player of the Game. We've just decided Tyler Klutz. Why not make this the Tyler Klutz story? Read more about tonight's game with a 32-issue digital subscription for only $14.99 to the Star magazine. Fullbacks are not used by so many college football teams. What we've seen in the NFL are guys like Tyler Klutz, Bruce Miller with San Francisco, some others, converted defensive ends playing fullback in this league. The colleges have tried to make Darryl a dinosaur.
They've done a heck of a job with it, too. I mean, they really are a dying breed, and I think you make a great point because the college game is not pushing anybody up to the NFL level. You're getting the converted defensive lineman, and the only way the fullback is going to come back in is when he can leave the backfield and go out and create a matchup problem on the outside, and defensive ends and defensive tackles are not going to afford you that opportunity. So,
well, and I'll take it another step further there. The high schools aren't providing fullbacks to the colleges.
Yeah, the spread is just taking over.
Yeah, especially here in Texas, boy, you don't see a fullback.
You don't see a tight end on a lot of teams. Vaughn trying to escape. Time has run out.
Oh, that was a stat builder right there.
That was.
He wasn't going to get a touchdown, but he was going to get some good stats.
It was.
That was a bummer. That was going to help the box score on Monday.
Trying to run before he caught it.
Well, Tyler, you averaged 18 yards of reception in the game the other night.
We are through one half of play here at AT&T Stadium, and the Cowboys nursing a 1-point lead at the half, 14-13 over the Vikings. By the way, tonight, the first time the Cowboys have had a lead this preseason, and so far we've seen the first team offense primarily. Of course, Romo was out the latter half of the second quarter, but first team offensive line in there for the entire duration of the first half. Let's go down to the sideline now, and Keith Russell.
Fellas, we're standing here with head coach Jason Garrett. Jason, to have Tony Romo and that offense put up 2 scoring drives, that must have felt special.
Yeah, it was good for those guys to get some work tonight. Early on, we got bogged down a little bit by the penalties and the drives, but once we eliminated those, we got some good field position. We cashed in down the red zone.
How happy were you with the production of Darren McFadden and Joseph Randall? They seem to find some creases there.
Well, it's good to see those guys play. We wanted to come in and run the football tonight, and except for those situations where we got behind the chains with the penalties, I think we were able to do that, and it opens up so much more for the rest of our offense.
And lastly, before we let you run, Coach, what can you do to clean up some of these special teams' long returns?
Well, it's disappointing. Obviously, their guys one of the best in the league, and you can never give up kickoff returns for touchdowns in this league and expect to be successful. So we'll get a chance to look at it tomorrow on the tape and see what the issue was. We just simply got to do a better job in that area.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, good seeing you.
All right, fellas. Jason Garrett says overall, definitely more pluses than minuses in that first half.
And they've got the lead at the half. The Jason Garrett interview brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. Make the most of your color with the very best paint. Ask Sherwin-Williams, official paint supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. 14-13, Cowboys lead the Vikings at the break. Now this from your local station. Welcome back to AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The Cowboys leading the Vikings 14-13 as Dan Bailey tees that football up to get us started here in the third quarter. Bill Jones with Babe Laufenberg and Daryl Moose Johnston with us this week. Vikings have already played 3 preseason games. This is preseason game number 4 for them. They played the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio. 3-0 in the first 3 games. Cowboys 0-2, but have the lead to start the second half, and the ball trickles through the end zone, and the Vikings will start at their own 20-yard line. Let's take a look at the stat sheet presented by Miller Lite from the first half.
And the Cowboys definitely, Daryl, ran the ball better in this game than they have all preseason long.
Well, I really liked what Darren McFadden did in the first half. He got on a nice little roll there, and that's one of the things that I think will be hard. When you do running back by committee, it's hard to get into the flow of the game and really start to understand what your matchups are up front in the offensive line. So that will be the challenge if it's running back by committee for the Cowboys this year, is getting into that rhythm.
McFadden 4 carries for 37 yards in the first half. Joseph Randle started 6 carries, 15 yards, also had a reception for 8 yards. Taylor Heineke is the new quarterback in the game for the Minnesota Vikings to start the third quarter. Third quarterback of the game for them.
Jasper Brinkley, former Viking, number 54, in on the tackle there. And there you see Heineke, the rookie out of Old Dominion. Don't see a lot of Old Dominion players.
No, you don't.
Do you?
No, you don't.
Second and 3. And that's Joe Banyard out of UTEP. It'll be 3rd and 1 coming up.
And the guy coaching those quarterbacks, Scott Turner, the son of Norv Turner. So Adam Zimmer, the son of Mike Zimmer, is a linebackers coach. The offensive coordinator, Norv Turner, here, who of course was here from Dallas in 91, 92, and 93. His son, Scott, coaches the quarterbacks.
Yeah, I felt my age pregame when you're walking around in the field and you bump into, to Adam and Scott, and the last time you remember when they were just little guys running around the practice field.
Handoff goes to the fullback. And trying to get forward enough for a first down. Don't believe he got it looking at the spot on the near side, but the spot on the right side might get him to the 30. That's where he needed to get.
Did you ever think about coaching, Daryl? Ever cross your mind?
I did, and I mean this with all sincerity, they work long, hard hours, and they're away from their families so much. And one of the things I wanted to do by playing football was put myself in a position to be able to spend a lot of time with my kids. And I just felt if I did the coaching route, I would have taken away from that. I didn't want to miss all the stuff with them growing up. And
of course, let me tell you, I've talked to your kids. They want you to coach. Okay. I'm kidding. Aiden would not hear of it.
Lucky Whitehead. And a return up to the 31. 55-yard punt, 15-yard return for Whitehead.
And this one's going to come back a little bit here, it appears. Flag down on the play.
Just it doesn't seem like a whole lot in the offseason, but you lose Dwayne Harris and all the things that he did.
Holding, return team, number 57, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Dallas's ball, first down.
In the coverage aspect of special teams, the return portion, the wide receiver position, and then a glue guy. One of the guys I refer to as a glue guy just does all the little things really, really well.
Back to AT&T Stadium in a moment. AT&T Stadium, beautiful in so many ways. You're looking at art located in the main concourse club by Matthew Ritchie. Abstract swirling of animated X's and O's originating from football plays. Pretty neat to see a playbook turned into colorful art here at AT&T Stadium. 14-13, Cowboys over the Vikings here early in the third with Dustin Vaughn at quarterback. Again, Brandon Wheaton out tonight after suffering the concussion a week ago. Tony Romo started for Dallas. Here's Gus Johnson trying to find some running room. Got a yard.
Getting back to coaching, I don't say this because he is sitting next to me here, although I would because he's bigger than me and he can beat me up. But I think Daryl Johnston, you would have made a heck of a good coach. I mean, a lot of guys play, they really don't know everything that's going around them. But you played that fullback position and you could have coached line, you could have coached receivers. I mean, you knew it all. Why was that important to you?
It's actually helped me with my broadcasting, too, because
Really?
a lot of people look at you as a fullback and they don't expect you to know a whole lot about the game. And I really have to give credit to Norv Turner. You know, he said if you want to stay on the field, you've got to learn the offense outside of the backfield. So I had to learn coverages. I was able to read hot routes and where the pressure was coming from.
Yeah.
So it was very beneficial to me to have him as my coach and make me see the game from the big picture as opposed to playing it real small from the backfield.
I know I was in Washington and Joe Gibbs used to always talk about don't be the guy in the assembly line screwing on the bolt and you don't know if you're making a refrigerator or a car or a television. You know, understand what's going on around you. I used to tell, hey, I'm just hoping I get that bolt screwed on. I mean, I'll worry about the other stuff later.
Which way do you screw it?
Yeah, exactly. Does it turn to the right or the left here?
Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Come on.
There you go. That's right. Sounds like, Babe, you're trying to convince Daryl Johnston to get into coaching.
No. All I'm saying is if he had, well, Daryl would have been good at a lot of things, and he's been obviously exceptional at broadcasting, but I don't say that about every player, that they would have made a good coach, but Daryl would have been. This was sobering for me. I remember Jimmy Johnson saying, I think Babe's going to make an excellent coach. But I was playing at the time. So it kind of
he was trying to convince you to get into coaching when you were playing.
Exactly, and that's when you know, it's like flying standby to games. It's like you may not be long for this world.
Tyler Patman first man down. Marcus Sherrills fields the punt. 51-yard punt that time. So the Vikings will take over, keeping their own end of the field when we come back to Arlington. In Frisco is coming along right on schedule. The trusses are going up to give the building some nice structure. And if you're driven through the North Texas area recently, you've seen the construction just north of 121, the Dallas North Tollway intersection. This time next year, the Cowboys will be wrapping up training camp in the Star.
It's going to be quite the facility.
It is.
I have driven by a number of times, and there are 7 cranes out there in operation working at one point. I'm like...
Heineke gets through, and he has a first down with the slide. And there's a late flag as Rod Sweeting came in late with some contact there.
Sweeting put his hands up in the air as to say, me?
Yes, that would be you.
See if it was a head first or a feet first slide.
He went feet first,
yeah,
and then he gave him a shot in the back. So, but getting back to the flush out of the pocket, all the pressure got up on that same level. So you didn't have anybody.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying a contain rush, but your inside rushers got up the field too far on the same level, the same plane as the defensive ends.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense. Number 30 with a late hit. 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Let's see if it was...
not real happy with the call.
Well, it's tough because in this situation, did the tackler already commit before he slid, and that's why the contact is there. And it's kind of like that. He's coming in to make the tackle, and then the quarterback slides feet first.
Yeah, and he came from
protection.
the tackle came from the side as well.
As it is, it's a huge pickup for Minnesota inside Dallas into the field, the 44. Dominique Williams breaks one tackle, gets down to the 36.
Vikings going a little 2-minute offense here.
And finding some running room is Dominique Williams in his second year.
Williams on the carry.
He's out of Wagner College.
Back up on the ball here, the Vikings are.
First and 10 Vikings, 26.
That was a heck of a throw because he saw Corey White the Cowboys defensive back underneath that throw. Right as he went to release it, and Darryl, I think he just adjusted that trajectory a little bit to get it over the top of him. Corey White's eyes got big when he saw him firing out to the
big
big
six. Broke on that. Yeah, exactly, Bill. He thought he had a touchdown.
Instead, Isaac Frichte had the completion for the first down inside the 15-yard line, and now there's contact up front.
It's going to go against the Cowboys.
Encroachment. Defense. Number 97. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's Terrell McLean.
Excuse me. And Bill, you mentioned the Vikings have had that extra preseason game because they played in the Hall of Fame game, so this is their 4th preseason game. They'll have number 5 next week. But Mike Zimmer said we haven't had a chance to work our 2-minute offense, so we may just throw it in here at some point. And that's exactly what they're doing right now.
Probably would have liked to have done it with Bridgewater early in the game, but they did not. Now they get an opportunity with their 3rd stringer, and muscling his way forward. Looks like he's got the first down. Is Williams.
It's actually good for the Dallas defense, though, to see this, Darryl, because they'll play Philadelphia in week 2, and basically that's 2-minute offense for 60 minutes.
Yeah, and you've got New England in that first 4-week span of the season as well, and they're very up-tempo with their offensive style.
So Randy Gregory in the game at right defensive end. Stopped at first, but he wasn't stopped. He heads left and heads to the end zone. Dominique Williams. And just like that, the Vikings go 73 yards. Their 2-minute offense.
Looked a little too easy on that drive.
It really did. The entire drive,
obviously
from start to finish.
Late hit.
But once they got into that up-tempo style, Dallas really struggled with. And you're restricted by what you can do defensively, so that was not good for the Dallas defense on that drive.
And it's going so well, they've decided why not we just go for 2 also. That's the new rule this year.
The Cowboys have 10 men on the field, I believe.
So timeout Dallas.
First charge, timeout.
Oh, I'm sorry, they did have 11. They had 11.
30-second timeout.
What do you think about the new extra point rules, babe?
We'll see how it plays out. I do think this. I don't think it's going to change anything in terms of teams going for 2.
Yeah.
I think they're just going to kick a longer extra point.
Do we really need to start punishing people who are really, really good at what they do? is that what we're getting nowadays?
I wouldn't know.
You know, one thing with the Vikings, Blair Walsh missed a point after.
Yeah, he did.
This preseason, he was just 2 for 6 on his field goals, and a couple of them were inside. Were in the 30 to 39 yard range.
But basically, that extra point had become a 99% plus. Dan Bailey has never missed an extra point.
But you're saying even if it's 95%, it's not going to change the strategy.
No, I don't think it'll change it at all.
In this case, Mike Zimmer decides, let's go for 2 here. And he's got his man, Chase Ford. Taylor Heineke to Chase Ford for the 2-point conversion to give the Vikings the 7-point lead.
And my guess is they just wanted to see it on film, run a 2-point play.
Or perhaps the chart said, give us a 7-point lead, which it did. 21-14, Minnesota leads it. Go home from training camp if a lineman catches a punt. And that's what rookie defensive end Randy Gregory did on Thursday, laying out for a Chris Jones punt. Coach Garrett surprised the team, letting them go home early, a day early from Oxnard. Trucks hustling to get the weight room, everyone's bags packed up to make it to the charter so the team could get home on Thursday night instead of Friday afternoon. How about that?
Charter was supposed to leave on Friday. So what if they didn't have a plane? What if they got out there and, oh my gosh, we forgot to tell the people we needed a plane. You want to see some angry football players, Darryl? Oh, we'll just bus back to Dallas.
Randy Gregory, why'd you catch that punt? We're going to take a bus back.
Hey, getting back to that 2-point again, and the conversion rate last year from 33 yards, which is going to be the effective point after touchdown kick this year, 97%. And that was, again, keeping in mind you be right hash, left hash. Now they can place up all in the middle of the field. So again, I don't see a whole lot of team. I don't see any teams really, Daryl, going for 2 points as opposed to the 1 until
How
you
about
get some-
Philadelphia?
Philly, they
never know what Chip
yeah, you
Kelly
never
is
know.
gonna do.
Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a scenario too here in a minute.
Dustin Vaughn rolls right. Picks up about 4.
Okay, here's my thing. You're down. Excuse me. You're up 9 or 10 points, right? You're in a 2-possession game. The non-kicking team obviously can return it for 2 points, like college football. You don't kick that ball. Because the only way that team, 30 seconds left in the game, right? It's a 2-possession game. The only way that team can turn it into a 1-possession game, the other team, right, is to block it and take it for 2. So now your 9-point becomes 7 or 10 becomes 8, and now they're in a 1-possession game. You like that thinking? Or am I thinking myself?
You're out thinking yourself.
I mentioned it to Jason Garrett. He said, you just kick it. Honestly, though,
It
think
is
about
a
that.
good point.
Think about that.
You 30 seconds left. You got a 9-point lead.
Yeah.
And if they block that kick and return it for 2 points for the defense,
Yep.
now it's a 7-point.
And now I'm kicking off, and they've got the ball, and they just need 1 score.
Yep.
If I just literally take a knee,
And with a 10-point lead too, because you could make it an
10,
8-point
make it 8.
game.
It's a
Yep.
1-possession game.
Yep.
So why invite disaster? I'm getting a thumbs up from our statistician. Now, if a statistician will give you the thumbs up.
That's because he's a mathematician. He
Right.
understands.
Well, no.
And what was the percentage of field goals made from 33 yards out?
97%.
So you're banking on the other 3%.
Well, that's the only way that other team could get back in the game.
Dustin Vaughn throwing deep down the right side. Intended for Gates. And it's punt time for the Cowboys.
I've always thought I was smarter than everybody else, and this just proves it. Because nobody is thinking the way I'm thinking.
I'm on board with
Anticipatory
you.
management.
There we go. But think about that for a minute.
No, it is.
No, think about that. It's the only way that other team can get back in.
But that means you have absolutely no confidence in your kicker.
No.
And
But
you're-
if it gets blocked and they return it for 2, it's a 1-possession game.
Low snap. Tom Hornsey with the punt. Stephon Diggs decides why not take it. He got an extra 5 or 6 yards by doing so. 42 yards on the punt, 10 yards on the return by Diggs. And it's Minnesota's turn on offense. The midway mark of the 3rd quarter here at AT&T Stadium. Get 32 issues of Dallas Cowboys Star magazine. Subscriptions available in print for $39.95, digital $14.99, or both for $44. Call 1-877-NFC-BOYS or visit DallasCowboys.com/star. Second to last preseason game of 2015. Cowboys will close out the preseason on Thursday night here at AT&T Stadium against the Houston Texans. By this time next Saturday night, about 40% of both of these rosters won't have a job in the NFL, at least on a 53-man roster, until they go through waivers on the following day. Then they may still not have a job. Taylor Heineke escapes trouble and picks up some yardage.
Now, this is just that time of year for some of these guys, Daryl, where you just don't answer the phone. You know, where you. So
Or
if they can't
your
find
heart
you, they
stops
can't.
when it rings.
If they can't find you, they can't catch you, right? And I do like Jason Garrett and Dave Campo, talked about it last week. Jason Garrett says the same thing. I don't tell them they can't play football. I tell them they can't play for us at this time.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't want to kill their dreams. And hey, how many guys have been released? Go on and on
Absolutely.
with that list of guys that one team told them can't use you, and another team said, hey, we'll take you.
2nd and 8. Heineke throws over the middle. And that's Stephon Diggs, brought down by Corey White, who's getting an opportunity at the safety position right now. At left cornerback is Byron Jones, the 1st-round pick out of UConn.
Byron Jones obviously moved up on the depth chart with the injury to Orlando Scandrick. They were counting on him anyway this year, but the injury to Scandrick certainly throws things in, I don't want to say disarray, but that playing that slot, you put him in there and he was good as gold.
Hit in the backfield and dropped is DeJuan Harris. That's Davon Coleman.
I remember him from last season making some plays in the game we did, Babe, and picking up right where he left off. Gets to the inside, straight up the field into the backfield.
Second-year man out of Arizona State. Actually got an opportunity in the season opener last year. Heineke over the middle again. Jasper Brinkley and Corey White in there. There's a flag down.
And this one's going to go against Cowboys as well. Jason Garrett on the sideline, kind of throwing up his hands. So, Cowboys have been pretty good this preseason anyway.
Use the hands of the phase. Defense, number 28. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic, first down.
Clearly does not agree with the call. Robert Steeples.
We can't get anything by you, Bill. Wouldn't it be great if he just patted on? Hey, great call. Great call. Hank Strand. He called it good.
Well, you're talking about penalties. 9 for 81 yards tonight. We went through there's no running room for Harris that time. We went through the first preseason game, the whole half without a penalty called against the Cowboys.
You know, and I mentioned this in that first game, Bill, because you think, well, good teams don't get penalized, right? They're at the bottom of the list. Well, Seattle made the Super Bowl the last 2 years. Each of those 2 years, they were the most heavily penalized team in the NFL. New England made it last year, right? They finished 27th. They were the 5th most penalized. And 2 years ago it was Denver, and they finished 29th. So the moral of this story is get a lot of penalties and go to the Super Bowl. See you in San Francisco, right? Or Santa Clara this year.
Or have Brady or Manning as your quarterback.
Yeah, they were there.
Heineke to an open receiver. That's Stephon Diggs again.
Doesn't hurt, does it? We've got Brady, but we may see Jimmy Garoppolo here in that 5th game of the season for the Cowboys. It's the 4th game for New England, of course, pending Brady's appeal.
This Taylor Heineke is playing,
isn't he?
Pretty good football out here against Dallas's defense. You see right there, there's 4 defenders in that area. Finds that little opening.
Heads up, runs a little bit. Good ball there. Gets the ball out of his hand.
He's 5 for 5 for 61 yards out of Old Dominion. As a sophomore at Old Dominion, he won the Walter Payton Award as the best player in the country at that level. Flag down as he runs out of bounds. Heineke 4th in FCS history with nearly 15,000 passing yards in his career.
Offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Yeah, and just to add to those stats there, Bill, 68% completion percentage throughout his college career. And one thing I always say, don't overlook production. It doesn't matter where that production comes from. But I always like it when they say, well, but look at the competition he was playing with. And I said, well, look at the players against, and I said, well, look at the guys he was playing with. They're all on a level playing field. And that was Romo. Romo was spectacular at Eastern Illinois, and everybody kind of overlooked his production. It's been pretty good.
And a nice run there. The fumble. Ball comes out. Jasper Brinkley, looks like he thinks the Cowboys may have gotten it.
Is there anything that makes Rod Marinelli happier than seeing a ball on the ground, Darryl?
No, not at all. And the ability to take the football away, and it's something that he's always preached in his defense. A lot of that, is the hustle to the football. Good things happen when you have numbers around the football. I was surprised to see that Dallas had no takeaways coming into the game this evening. And now we had an opportunity for a second one right there, but they missed it.
And there's Cowboys defensive coordinator, and you look at his defenses. When he was in Chicago the 3 years before coming here, they finished 3rd, 5th, and 1st in takeaways. Last year, of course, Cowboys 2nd.
They had that one snuffed out from the get-go. Corey White with the pressure, and it's Davon Coleman, the tackle for loss.
It's really nice timing by Corey White on that blitz. They hit it perfect stride.
Yeah, that's when Heineke, Darryl, probably would have been well advised to just throw it at the feet of his running back. Davon Coleman just all over it. If he doesn't get it, you see number 95, LeVar Edwards, right there to make the tackle. So that's when you say, you know what?
Throw on the ground, get back in the huddle.
We drew it up. It looked a lot better than this on the blackboard, but I'll just throw it in the throw it at the feet of my rookie running back and live to play another down.
Third down has not been a good down for either team tonight. A combined 0 for 13. Make it 0 for 14.
Now that was a relentless pass rush right there.
Everything Randy Gregory does is relentless, it seems like.
He's getting better at not getting past the pocket. He talked about some of the things he had to do with his rush lane integrity. Greg Hardy on the inside gets the flush, and Randy Gregory just keeps working. You get beyond the quarterback, you have to retrace your steps. We see him right here. He gets pushed beyond, comes back inside, and is able to get the quarterback sacked.
Defense, number 28, it's a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
And it results in a first down for Minnesota.
Yeah, automatic first down.
Unbelievable.
Minnesota is going to have about a 4th and forever. New set of downs for him.
Well, Gregory had sacks in each of his first 2 games.
When I really went back and watched Bill, and he's had sacks, he's had holds. Every rush, it's like he's close. Every rush, he's doing something to disrupt the quarterback of the opposing team. He's been far better than, I don't want to say I thought he would be, but he's been as good as they could have hoped for, I think, Darryl.
Well, I think the one thing when he came to Dallas, one of the concerns that a lot of people had was the weight. Great, he's got a great first step. We're going to have speed from the edge, but how is he going to hold up? I think he plays much bigger than what his body weight is. I mean,
Seems
you watch
strong.
him, he's a great leverage player. Yeah, he reminds me of Charles Haley. Charles Haley was not a real big guy, but he had just great leverage.
A pickup of 4 for Harris. Byron Jones in on the stop. The beauty of it is here as well is he can basically be a third down rusher. He can concentrate on rushing the passer and doesn't have to be a run defender necessarily like he was in college. He was an every down player at Nebraska. Of course, they did not have a very good run defense, as a testament. Melvin Gordon ran for over 400 yards against him. And I watched some of that game, and he looked like he got worn down. Well, he doesn't have that problem here from the standpoint that he's not going to be on the field every play.
And I think he plays with a good enough pad level and good enough leverage that if you were, as an offensive coordinator, decided to attack Randy Gregory in the running game when he's in passing situations, I think he'll be able to hold up. He plays the run well for his size.
Well, that's the next thing they will do. Run right at him and see if he can hold up. Right now, teams are not game planning, obviously, but they will be during the season.
And a false start. David
False
Yankee.
Start. Offense, number 66, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Coaches just take turns being unhappy, don't they, Darryl? Now it's Zimmer's turn. I told Mike Zimmer, Adam Zimmer, as we talked about, his son is coaching the linebackers for him. Last year, they used the first-round pick on a linebacker. This year, a second-round pick. I said, so has Adam run the draft? He says, hey, Dad, give me a linebacker.
Heineke with time. And runs for about 5 yards. Ryan Russell runs him down from behind, the rookie out of Purdue and Carrollton Creekview.
Speaking of that draft, too, Darryl, the Cowboys used 4 of their first 5 picks on defense. Obviously, the offense didn't have a whole lot of holes in it. And I always remember interviewing Drew Bledsoe when they had taken 2 first-round defensive players. He asked Bill Parcells, hey, when do they hold the offensive draft?
21-14 at the end of the third quarter. Through 3 quarters here at AT&T Stadium. You see the Romo numbers tonight, 5 out of 8 for 88 yards through the 2 touchdown passes. One to Terrence Williams, another to Lucky Whitehead. He was done for the night about midway through the second quarter and done for the preseason. Now Blair Walsh with a 43-yard field goal attempt.
Well, he had struggled in the preseason.
He has. Wide left. He came in 2 for 6 on his field goals this preseason.
And as you mentioned, also missed an extra point last week. And they just gave him big money.
And they're wondering why they did that, at least as far as the preseason numbers are concerned. Early in the fourth here, Dustin Vaughn, number 2 quarterback tonight because Brandon Whedon is out after suffering the concussion a week ago. Cowboys take over at the 33.
All right, it's time for Dustin Vaughn here, Bill, to get a little drive going.
Yep.
He's got to get himself a little confidence back.
By the way, that was a 7.5-minute drive. If you could call it that. It was not the prettiest drive in the world. Going deep downfield, looking for Antoine Goodley, well over his head, and he was double covered.
I think that was one there, where I think Vaughn just said, I'm going to take a deep shot. And
you committed
the
to
coverage
it.
out.
Exactly.
Yeah. I always hate it when they say, okay, we got fill in the blank, 5:28, throw the post. It's like, well, we don't know the defense. Here we go. Watch the safety here coming up. We're going to get a post on the back side, the left side of your screen. And it just ends up being double coverage. And got to check that ball down.
2nd and 10. Gus Johnson hitting the backfield and buried in the backfield. The rookie out of Stephen F. Austin.
As I cited the need for Dustin Vaughn to get a good drive going here, he now has himself a third and 14. So
you see a little bit of frustration just on his face.
Yeah. But again, it's like flipping a coin. Just because 9 of them came up heads doesn't mean, well, the next one's got to be tails. So he's got to come back, read it. Don't worry about picking up 14 yards on this. But, if you have to dump it down, let a guy make a play, punt, got to do it. Just don't force the football.
Lucky Whitehead makes a man miss, makes another miss.
I actually think that was offensive coordinator Scott Linehan there, just trying to take care of Dustin Vaughn so that you didn't have that situation. Threw the little slip screen out to the right to Lucky Whitehead.
Well, and that will come with time, with the trust that you develop. All the young quarterbacks go through it as they go through the relationship with their offensive coordinator. And as you pointed out, the one thing you can't do in that situation is have the turnover. So just take that decision out of his hands.
So here's the Australian punter, Chris Hornsey, or Tom Hornsey. Marcus Sherrills is the punt returner for the Vikings, and out to the 28-yard line. 55 yards on the punt, 15 on the return. The Vikings take over on offense when we come back to Arlington. Now this from your local station. About this show-stopping scene here at AT&T Stadium. Artist Trenton Doyle Hancock's piece, From a Legend to a Choir, a 40 by 98-foot mural located on the southeast ramp wall of AT&T Stadium.
I always tell people when they're coming out for the tour to make sure that they do the art tour segment of it. Don't just go out and get your picture taken on the star. It's amazing when you walk through this facility.
Artwork that you see all over the country, although this artwork here, it's artists that you see all over the world, really, but it's a unique artwork for AT&T Stadium. Let's go down to Keith Russell.
Hey, Mo Claiborne, what did it feel like, man, to get some live fire for the first time?
Oh, man, it felt good. It's been a while since I've been on the field, in game action, out there playing, and it just felt so good. I just give God all the praise for, allowing me to be back out there this early, and just to go out there and be with my teammates.
How hard has this process been for you, Mo, to hear people doubt you, to doubt your health, to sometimes doubt your abilities?
Oh, man, I just try to put it to the side as much as I can. I'm human, so a lot of things I see, a lot of things I read, it do get to me. But over the years, I've learned how to process it, and take that energy and all that, and channel it into something good.
Bottom line, you're now the guy who has to man that corner opposite Brandon Carr. How ready are you for what could be a great season for this Cowboys football team defensively?
Oh, man, I've been ready for a while now. I'm ready to take on this responsibility, this role on this team as a starting corner. And, just go out there and play, keep working hard, and continue to work with my teammates.
All right, Mo Claiborne says he's ready, he's willing, and this year, guys, he's able.
All right, thank you, Keith. And the Cowboys defense up to the challenge. Got a little loud here. on that possession by the Vikings.
I thought there might be a wave going on somewhere. That's Lucky Whitehead back to return this one, and again, the big thing for him, he had a fumble in week 1, he had a bobble in week 2, and he needs to make sure he secures the football.
Jeff Locke punting. Of course, he hobbled off earlier, left-footed punter, just like Chris Jones. And Lucky Whitehead, there is a flag down. And he gets up to the 30-yard line. 46-yard punt, 7-yard return by Whitehead.
Actually, Rodney is his real name as well.
That's right.
His dad is Rodney, he's Rodney, but
it was when he was born, basically, that he was named Lucky, although on the birth certificate, I think it's Rodney.
By the receiving team, 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
Yeah, you always got to be careful when you give a kid a nickname when they're little. Take it from a man named Babe. Okay, it can stick with you a while.
Back with more with Brandon in just a moment. Highlights of training camp in Oxnard, the announcement that Darren Woodson, the Cowboys' all-time leading tackler, will be inducted into the Cowboys Ring of Honor when the Seattle Seahawks come to AT&T Stadium on November 1st. Well-deserved honor. Jerry Jones making the announcement in Oxnard. All-time leading tackler and one of the all-time favorites. The Cowboys Super Bowl teams in the 90s, and playing on into the aughts as well. Ben Molina can't hold on. How about Darren Woodson, Darryl? I mean, as a teammate and so forth, I mean, they don't get any better than Woody.
They really don't, and obviously the athleticism was there, but I remember Darren when he first came to the Cowboys and he came into the weight room and you see Michael Irvin and Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith in there working hard, and he always said, he goes, I knew right away what it was going to take to be a part of this team because I watched you guys play on television to see all the stars, and you come in and see how hard they are working, you know, in the offseason, and Darren fell right in line with all that, and let me tell you what, just unbelievable. You see him as a safety, but he was one of the first guys to be able to get into the slot as a safety and cover just about anybody. I watched him cover Jerry Rice in man-to-man situations. I mean, he was not just your big thumper at the safety spot or a center field style. He could play anywhere. You could put him anywhere. You could put him at corner probably.
But he was a big thumper.
He was a big thumper on top of all that. So, well-deserved.
Interesting that he goes in against Seattle as well at halftime of that game, because I remember the hit he put on Darrell Jackson in the Seattle game at then Texas Stadium, and I didn't know if Darrell Jackson was going to be alive after he hit him. It was just, I think Woody was a little lighter in the wallet after that hit, but.
3rd and 7. Vaughn struggling to get back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be punt time again for the Cowboys.
Well, good first game for Dustin Vaughn. It's been a struggle since then.
And what do you think? We've talked about some of the other situations here, some, you know, not really position battles, but, you know, just evaluation. And what do they do with the third quarterback here? I mean, what's going to happen here down the stretch?
You know, I actually thought Dustin Vaughn would be farther along here. I thought he'd have played well against San Diego, not well last week, and just struggled a little bit here today.
Short punt inside the 50-yard line, 33-yard punt by Tom Hornsey.
We got a flag on the opposite end of the field here, but and the one thing about this too, when you get in there at the end, and unfortunately I've been there, and you get guys, some guys know what to do, some don't. You're in there, you're trying to take care of your own business, and you got guys turning around. What do I do? What do I do? What's it on? What's the snap count? What, you know? And it can be a lot of dysfunction out there at the end of these ball games.
That's why I like the fact that tonight they gave him an opportunity with the first-string offensive line, and yet we really didn't see an uptick in his production with the starters in there. So it's going to be an interesting dilemma going forward. With Jamil Showers, I mean, I like the special teams element, but I mean,
either do it or you
exactly,
team guy
or you play quarterback, because if you're the third quarterback,
defense.
you get hurt on special teams.
The 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, replay, 4th down.
There were many a game I started as the center on kickoff return taking a pretty big hit and, not really feeling all that great being in the offensive huddle. So just because you're on special teams and playing that role doesn't mean you're not any less susceptible to injury.
Right.
So
seems like Showers would be a perfect candidate for the practice squad. Just the different things that he can do, even as a quarterback, when you get some running type quarterbacks in the league, and he can as a scout team quarterback, show some of that stuff. But it's going to be interesting as far as Dustin Vaughn. If you're still sold on his future as an NFL quarterback, the practice squad could still be an option. If he would, of course, would have to clear waivers, not be picked up by another team. That's burned the Cowboys in the past with Matt Moore several years ago. Stephon Diggs.
Well, they just blew my theory out of the water there with the re-kick.
Well, that was a 63-yard punt and a 7-yard return. Theories are made to be broken, I guess. Minnesota on offense when we come back. Game summary as we play here in the fourth quarter. Tony Romo with a couple of touchdown passes. One of them going 60 yards to Terrence Williams. Got the Cowboys on the board. And buying some time in the end zone, finds the rookie Lucky Whitehead for the other touchdown. Vikings come back. They had a 107-yard kickoff return, and then that touchdown gave them the lead at 21-14. That's where we are now. Mike Kafka, the fourth quarterback of the night for the Vikings, out of Northwestern, which means he's a smart guy.
And they've kind of run the gamut on Teddy Bridgewater out of Louisville. We've seen Old Dominion. We've seen Northwestern.
Sean Hill from Maryland.
Teddy Bridgewater, by the way, coached by current University of Texas head coach Charlie Strong down at Louisville.
And what a career he had at Louisville. Kafka slides down at the 28-yard line. Byron Jones on the stop.
We see all these young guys running around trying to make this team, Daryl, and they don't. The downside too is they don't get a ton of reps in practice. Now you get out there in a game and you play quite a bit of the game. But Sam Farmer, the great NFL writer for the LA Times, and he's great because he's the NFL writer in a city that has no NFL team and hasn't for 20 years. But he said they're all like salmon going upstream. And I said, you're exactly right. And you see that nice big fat salmon and he doesn't make it and the skinny one does, and you kind of wonder why.
And Kafka's brought down, a sack. And it's the former Viking Jasper Brinkley.
How many times have you seen, though, Daryl, that guy, he walks into the locker room like you say, 6'4", 250, V-cut, you just say, wow, that's a football player. And then for whatever reason, the guy doesn't come out the other end and make the football team.
There's actually a lot more than people would believe.
Yeah.
It's especially at the collegiate level. When I was at Syracuse, you saw some guys that would come in and you couldn't wait to see what they were going to do. And for whatever reason, injury, passion, it kind of fizzles and the career doesn't reach the point that you thought it would.
Then you look at Cole Beasley and you say, hey, I want that guy.
Fair catch.
We talk about the combine and they measure vertical jumps and 40s and bench press maxes and reps, and you can't measure the heart. And there's a lot of guys out there who maybe don't look the part from the physical stature, but inside they're the toughest guy you're ever going to meet.
Jameel Showers takes over when we come back. New quarterback in the game for the Cowboys here as they trail 21-14 with just under 8 minutes to play. In preseason game number 3, the man from UTEP, Colleen Shoemaker High School, Jameel Showers.
I do think, Daryl, a guy like Jameel Showers who's a better runner than a Dustin Vaughn, when that stuff breaks down in these preseason games, especially late in the game when you've got a lot of third-teamers out there, they tend to look a little better. Again, the ability to make plays with his legs that Vaughn does not have. So what do? They roll him out.
That customary roll right. The first play in the Linehan playbook. Let's go down to the sideline and Keith Russell.
Big number 82. You had to be pleased with those 2 touchdown drives.
Yeah, it was good. And we knew coming into tonight that we're going to get to play more and really wanted to kind of set our identity of our football team offensively. I thought we didn't start real fast, but we picked it up, played pretty good there, and put 2 good drives together.
How did you think Tony looked?
I thought Tony looked great. Big throw to Terrence. We've had great work all season. Really see him come along in his third year, and then he does what he does. In the red zone, he creates, buys time, makes some big plays. So we're excited about the season starting. I thought it was a good showing tonight.
And I know you had to be. Nice little run by Gus Johnson there. You had to be, speaking of the running game, pretty impressed with some of the runs by Darren McFadden and Joseph Randall.
Yeah, they did a good job. We needed to get that going. We pride ourselves in being able to run the football, and we've done well in camp, but it hasn't shown up in the game. So had some good runs. Just got to continue to build on it, and I think a lot of times when you try to find your identity in your run game, you got to go prove it. And I thought those guys stepped up. A heck of an opportunity for them in the running game to be the feature back. I thought both of them played well, ran hard.
And lastly, Jason, can Cowboys fans now breathe easy after seeing what you guys did as the first unit?
Well, I hope so. I thought we did some good things, but we still got a lot to clean up. We're hungry. We're not satisfied with what we had last year. We got a long way to go. Thought we showed some good stuff. We're excited for the season.
This man going into his 13th season, and he knows he needs that Super Bowl ring to consummate a Hall of Fame career, guys.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you.
Absolutely a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah.
And we Tony Gonzalez, arguably one of the best to ever play the position. He's right there when you talk wide receivers. Jerry Rice when you talk tight end. Tony Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez is a big Jason Witten fan, so he plays the tight end position the way it's supposed to. Lines up at the end of the line. He's a great blocker and a great receiver. Can move them all throughout the formation.
Fumbled snap. Vikings say they've got it, and the officials say they've got it too. So Minnesota will take over. Yeah, Witten, 57 catches away from 1,000 in his career.
That's what jumped out to me. 943, and I'm doing the
still,
math. I was like, holy cow.
Still like 400 behind Tony Gonzalez.
Well, he's got like over 1,300 catches in his career. A simple thing as the Cowboys trail 21-14, taking the snaps from center, but these young quarterbacks, Babe, they don't have a whole lot of experience taking snaps under center.
Well, and Shane McDermott, just watch the football here, because Shane McDermott is the center here. We clear it. The ball gets back to Jameel Shower's hands. The snap looks clean, and the ball just hits the floor, but many times you see that ball short-armed, and it doesn't quite get back to the quarterback's hands. That appeared to get there, and Showers just appeared to drop it.
Knifing through is Joe Banyard.
But you are exactly right, Bill. Taking a snap from under center can sometimes be a foreign experience to all these spread offenses.
I don't know how often he did it at UTEP. I know when he was at Texas A&M, he never got under center.
I remember I was talking to Vinny Testaverde was there, and quarterback coach was there, and we were discussing it, and I said how I talked to a kid about taking control of the huddle. And he let me have my whole spiel about being a leader. And then he looked at me and said, well, we don't huddle. and they don't huddle, and they don't take a snap from under center.
And Brandon Bostic in the receiving end loses the football, but he was down, says the official.
But it is funny, that was such a big part of a quarterback's job, Darryl, and you're one of the best in Troy Aikman, obviously, and that guy steps into the huddle and he's got command of it.
Runner was down by contact. It's second down.
I know, I'm sure Roger Staubach won games merely by telling his guys, hey, we can do this, here's what we need to do. Joe Montana, the famous story about the Super Bowl, looking up and telling his team, hey, is that John Candy? I said, John Candy's up there, just to loosen them up. And now they all sit there, they look to the sideline, right? Quarterback's 5 yards behind the center, and they look to the sideline to get the play call.
Taylor Heineke, by the way, back in there at quarterback for the Vikings. Hitting the backfield is Williams, and it's Davon Coleman. He makes a habit of hitting running backs in the backfield.
Well, when they were trying to sell Tom Brady on the whole philosophy of the up-tempo style offense, he wanted to be able to sit and look at the guy's eyes. It was the one time in the huddle he could actually look into everybody's eyes and see how they're doing.
Adrian Peterson on that Vikings sideline. He did work out before the game, not suited up for the game, and as is his custom, not getting any preseason carries. As he played in the season opener last year, and not the rest of the way. And the Vikings can't wait to get him out there for the start of the regular season. Chase Ford hit by Byron Jones, short of the first down.
Nice job by Byron Jones of getting him to the ground. He's on a bigger player at tight end, but one of the things they like about Byron Jones is the fact that he can match up with tight ends because of his size and strength.
I'm just amazed at the athleticism. You know, everybody talks about what he did at the combine.
Yeah.
But as you pointed out, and it's one of the reasons why we're seeing a lot of these teams get into these multiple tight end offenses, because these guys are 6'5", 250, 255 pounds, like the Jason Witten size, and they are difficult to get to the ground when they're in the secondary.
And I was impressed with the way he just sifted through all that traffic in the middle of the field and got over the top of it.
Heineke, the first down. Run down by Jonathan Brown is Dominique Williams. And what Byron Jones, by the way, did at the combine, in case you missed it, was what is called a world record standing broad jump of 12 feet 3 inches, which is absolutely amazing.
You ever done a standing broad jump, Darryl?
Yes.
Have you?
Yes. I had to do it at the combine.
Did you?
Yeah. I don't think I got double digits. I think I was 9.
Inches
I think
or feet?
I was 9 something.
Inches or feet?
I was very explosive when I was younger. I had the great Mike Boysick as my strength coach.
There you go.
At Syracuse.
Current Cowboys strength and conditioning coach. Brought him with you, huh?
Dominique Williams with running room.
I think in the old days, Bill, there are many a story of guys, their signing bonus back in the day was a car. They got a particular car. And I know Leroy Jordan wanted a Buick. Forget exactly which one. And Walt Garrison, of course, famously wanted a horse trailer.
And he still has that horse trailer, by the way.
Darryl said, I'll sign, but I need to bring my strength coach with me.
And Mike Boysick appreciated that. Cowboys will open the regular season 2 weeks from tomorrow, right here, a Sunday night game against the New York Football Giants. And then week 2, they go play at DeMarco Murray and the Philadelphia Eagles.
I just cannot wait for that Philadelphia game. I just cannot wait. Everything involved in that, and DeMarco again. And I'm sure Rod Marinelli and the Cowboys defense can wait a little bit. But DeMarco Murray, we know the way he ran last year, right? Just take that up a notch when he plays this Dallas defense next year. Or excuse me, in 2 weeks.
Joe Banyard, the man from Sweetwater, Texas, is in the end zone, and he could have run all the way to Sweetwater out in West Texas.
Yeah, there was a couple of times on this drive where they lost contain on the outside. On the 4th down play, got out to the outside very, very quickly, and here on the touchdown run,
watch Heineke.
We've got a blitz into the middle.
Heineke hands the ball off and signals touchdown. Wow.
He's on his way to Sweetwater, Bill.
That's right. Yeah. Take I-20 west. You'll eventually hit Sweetwater past Abilene. Blair Walsh with the point after, and the Vikings have a 14-point lead with less than 3 minutes to go at 28-14.
Have you been to Sweetwater?
I have.
Sounds like you have.
I've been through. I've stopped at the Dairy Queen in Sweetwater many times. Don't sleep on those New York Giants, though, in the regular season opener, too.
It hasn't transferred yet in the preseason. I agree with you. I think the entire NFC East is going to be a little bit better, but maybe not Washington. I thought they were going to. They just seem to be struggling again. But I think Eli Manning in the second year of Bob McAdoo's office, I think that they're going to be a better team. I really do.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see where they are defensively, but I expect the Giants to be much better offensively. You're gonna learn a lot about your Dallas Cowboys. That's a tough first half of the schedule.
I'll tell you one thing, for the fan, coaches may not like it so much, but for the fans, you get New England in here, you get Seattle in here. Early, I mean, it's a heck of a home schedule.
In that second half, you don't get Washington till the end of the season. And by the way, who in the world knows who's going to be playing quarterback for the Redskins? In fact, even in the season opener, Kirk Cousins got the start tonight. Of course, RG3 was banged up from a week ago, but there's a lot of talk today that Kirk Cousins might be the guy in the season opener.
Reports are out there that Kirk Cousins will start against Miami in week 1 for Washington.
Instability at the quarterback position is the most challenging thing for a team in the NFL today, and Washington is the best example out there right now.
Whitehead breaks through up near the 30-yard line. Nice return by Lucky Whitehead.
Whitehead blew this one up there pretty good this time. Some of the returns there, I see him chopping his feet and kind of ready to absorb the blow, and this one he just
more in San Diego.
I
think Rich Bisaccia got with him after San Diego. I agree with you. I saw the exact same thing. Feeling his way through you can't do that on the return. You've got to hit that. You got to trust your guys up in front that there's going to be a lane there.
I've never done it, but all I know is the good ones, they get the ball, and it's just, that's why you don't see a lot of old kick returners. All of a sudden you say, those are big collisions.
Jamil Showers trying to break free, but sacked.
Getting back, we were talking about, RG3, obviously second pick in the draft a few years ago, and it's Kirk Cousins was taken in that same draft, and everybody said, what's Mike Shanahan thinking, taking a guy in the fourth? You just took a guy in the first round. To me, you always got to keep guys ready. Look at Seattle. They signed Matt Flynn to a big money contract, right? Russell Wilson ended up beating him out. They drafted him in the third round. Everybody said, why are they drafting a quarterback? They just signed Matt Flynn. Well, that's why they drafted him.
Gus Johnson nowhere to go, lost a yard.
Well, we've talked about the search and the clarification of the backup quarterback position here in Dallas, and it's one of the things that some people are waiting for the organization to do. When are they going to spend a third, a fourth round draft pick on the next quarterback, or are you committed to Brandon Whedon? But we've seen New England do it with Ryan Mallett. They came back and did it with Jimmy Garoppolo after Ryan Mallett didn't pan out. We've seen now the Broncos. They've done it to get ready for Manning's successor. We've seen New Orleans with Breeze.
I look at Green Bay and I say, okay, you've got Brett Favre, and what do? You spend a first-round pick on Aaron Rodgers, and look how seamless that has been. What a move.
Nicely done by Showers. Now he'll throw to the sideline. Swaim out of bounds, incomplete.
I just think you got to constantly get that next guy ready, and it's not always just drafting him. I always say it's not just drafting him. It's drafting him and hoping that guy becomes the guy you think he is. And as you mentioned, Mallett in New England, they said that. In comes Garoppolo. I watched him last week against New Orleans. Watched that entire game. I'm a sick man. I watch preseason games at midnight, and
that's the reason you're scouting those quarterbacks and see what they got.
He goes 28 of 33. I told Daryl on a break. I said the guy looked like Tom Brady, but they got another guy ready, and they're going to need him this year for some amount of games.
And what they take him in the third round, I think, something like that. Marcus Sherrill's on the return here. The fullback gets him, Tyler Klutz.
And it's that situation that you talked about earlier. The quarterback coming up from the collegiate game is not ready to see the style of defense he is. He needs time to learn the system, to learn what he's going to face here. And what better way to do than to bring somebody and move them along gradually and let them sit in a meeting with Tony Romo. Sit in the meeting room with Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and Drew Brees.
First down. This is a 2-minute warning. Minute 49 remaining in the fourth quarter.
2-minute warning time here at AT&T Stadium. The Vikings will be on offense when we come back to wrap it up. Minute of Dallas Cowboys action. Season tickets are available. Call 817-892-4400 and speak with a sales consultant now. Final couple of minutes here. Preseason game number 3. 28-14, the Vikings lead, and they are on offense, set to take a knee and run this one out. Positives coming out of tonight. Tony Romo, the most extensive playing time by far this preseason, and looked sharp.
Looked pretty good. Looked pretty good doing it. Mike Zimmer sitting over there. There's Tony Romo. Mike Zimmer, by the way, I'm not a betting man, but if you were, you would bet the Vikings. Mike Zimmer has yet to lose a preseason game. He is 8-0 as a head coach now. I told him before the game, I said, what makes you so good in the preseason? He just looked at me like, yeah, come on. But they have not lost a game.
That's right, 4-0 last year. Now they're 4-0 this year. A fifth one to come. Of course, they played the Hall of Fame game.
Well, and the only team in NFL history to ever go 0-16, the Detroit Lions in 2008, 4-0 in the preseason.
Doesn't mean much. I don't think there's any glaring issues with the Cowboys that they had to resolve through camp. Probably the biggest thing, the most pressing thing right now, the running game. I think you got some clarity there tonight. I thought Darren McFadden ran really well. I think the other ones, the swing tackle, the third QB, the fourth wide receiver, there's some smaller issues that they really haven't gotten some firm clarity on, somebody stepping up and really kind of taking that position. So Jason Garrett and his guys, they've got some things to sort out before the opener, but I think they have to be a little bit happier tonight with the running back situation than they were coming in.
One thing, it's interesting, particularly on the defensive line. They've got more depth than what they've had on the defensive line. You wonder if they might be able to move one of those players to another team to fill a position.
There's the Bill Jones I know coming out. Bill, by the way, has mock drafts. He'll do the Bill Jones.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, and so he's already now. We're moving player. We're trading this guy. No, but you're exactly right, Bill. I think they're as deep in that defensive line as they've been in a long, long time.
All right, the UPS play of the game. What would you go with tonight? Let's go with a Cowboy play.
I got to be the Terrence Williams guy.
That would be it. That's why he's got a network broadcasting job, Daryl Johnston. Terrence Williams, 60 yards. One of 2 touchdown passes thrown by Tony Romo in this game tonight. The Cowboys fall to the Vikings, 28-14 the final score. But they were ahead when the first-team quarterback was in the game. We're back with more from AT&T Stadium. But first, this from your local station.